Hey, let's start the show.
Welcome to This Is Only a Test. It's CES Day 2, January 11th, 2012, the official podcast of Tested.com. I'm Will Smith. We have a dignified, rarefied panel of guests today. Well, the normal crew. Norman Chan's here. Norm, how you doing?
Hi, doing all right.
Gary Witt is here.
Hello.
How you doing, Gary?
I'm good.
Both of you sound really tired, probably for different reasons.
I feel tired from being so awesome all the time.
Well, that's the same reason as mine. Then.
Okay, all right.
Woo! That was a terrible high five.
That was the whitest high five I've ever seen.
We almost high-fived Norm right in the face.
Yeah, that would be good. Just
just
slap him on
boom,
his side.
either side.
Yeah.
Both eardrums
Didn't want
burst.
to call that.
Good way to do it from now on. Let's do that. Make his ears ring.
New policy. CES Day 2, it is on the cusp of over. It was a good day on the floor. We saw a ton. We have a massive list of stuff to go through.
Yeah.
We have a limited time with the internet's own Gary Witta, though, unfortunately.
Well, it's more like a real talk show this way. That you have like I can be the first guest, and
Yeah.
I'll leave, and other revolving guests.
You've
got other guests coming, right?
Folks on here. We'll get
It's gonna be great.
Wes over here. We may have some special guests.
Special mystery guests
from outside the world of Tested. Friends of the site. Friends of
I didn't know we had
the
very
site.
intriguing.
Matt Braga's here. He's working chat right now.
This is yesterday.
Matt Braga, how you feeling?
Doing okay.
We were working on pronunciation with you earlier today.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
we were to beat the Canadianness out of me.
No beatings. No beatings.
Felt a little bit like verbal abuse.
If you want a beating, I will show you a beating, sir.
No, Dad. No.
What? Say mouse.
Mouse.
Say house.
You couldn't do it. He couldn't
House.
do it.
Say moose.
Moose.
Very good. Thank you. That's all we need. We have so much stuff to talk about. I have a list, but first,
It's show notes.
it is. We usually
Right.
don't do this in Vegas. Usually we
No.
just wing it and kind of it works itself out. Gary, you had quite an eventful day today. While we were slaving away on the floor, 18 hours, suffering heartily. You had an adventure at Blackjack. I understand.
Or a minor adventure.
It was something to break the tedium of your existence.
Well, I was up quite late last night, up till about 5, playing blackjack with my friend John. He and I are old friends, and we're Vegas buddies, and so we were playing quite late last night. I did quite well. He took a beating.
He was doing well earlier.
Yeah, but then he didn't know when to start. It actually got so bad that I went over to the cashier's cage and got one of those Gamblers Anonymous brochures that said knowing when to stop, and I gave it to him because I felt like he needed to read it.
Oh, it wasn't. You weren't even trolling him. You were just
I couldn't
telling
get him out of there. And then
Oh,
eventually I got him out there at 5, and he said I can't get a cab. I went to bed, and then like an hour later I got a text from him saying I couldn't get a cab, which is bullshit because it's Las Vegas, there's cabs everywhere.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get a cab, so I went back to the table. So I'm winning again.
He needs an accountability buddy.
You got to know when
You were
to
not
stop.
there for him.
So I slept. We had plans, as you recall, to have breakfast at Planet Daily's this morning. I slept right through that.
That's all right.
I didn't get out of bed until around 11. Got my shit together. Went downstairs to the casino. Started playing blackjack. And I had a fairly inauspicious day. I definitely played long enough to get comped some nice meals. My player's card.
But more than just
My player's card is glowing with electricity.
coupons.
more than
Glowing
the
with
pizza
pizza
coupons?
Much better than bullshit BOGO pizza slice coupons.
Must be nice.
I'm pretty good at Planet Dailies over there. They treat me like royalty now.
Yeah, all right.
They treat everyone like royalty at Planet Daily.
Yeah, but I don't have to pay for it.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I think
So today I came up with a new definition for min-maxing.
okay.
Which, we all know what min-maxing means in the kind of the video game context. But so, on a blackjack table, they have a minimum bet and a maximum bet that you can make on each hand. It's usually around anything from like $10 to $25 a minimum bet.
Sure.
Yeah.
And up to like $3,000 for a maximum bet.
Yeah.
Why
So
is
you
there
can
an
have-
upper limit?
What's that?
Are they afraid people will come down, put $5,000 in chips?
Well, and they have a special room for those people.
Right.
People like yourself, Norm.
With the ball peen hammer.
We don't want to gamble with the chuds.
No,
You want to be playing in their
Okay.
own private.
Oh, it's for my
little
own protection.
Sanctuary, exactly.
Yeah, okay,
They
got
want to
it.
be gambling with the riffraff. Yeah. Some people want to gamble $5,000 a hand and not be sitting next to someone like you or me who's only playing $25, $50
Just
a
you and
hand.
Donald Trump back there.
Right.
If I had that money, I would sit at the chud table But once in a while, let's put $5,000.
So the high limit room, because I asked about it, is $100 minimum, $10,000 maximum dollar table.
So it's not
crazy,
it's four
crazy.
times.
What do you mean not crazy?
Right, and the truth is the real mega high rollers are actually playing baccarat or something else.
Yeah. But it's better to be the roller at the chud table than the chud at the roller table, right?
I suppose that's true.
Yeah.
But I was at a regular table today, $25 a hand, and because it was in the morning, it actually started at 10. And I got grandfathered in.
That's good.
But I was playing 25, 50 when I felt adventurous, but it was a 3,000 maximum table, and this guy that was sitting next to me came down and put down a wad of cash that was just looked like something from a fucking bank robbery movie.
Okay.
And
what do you look like?
So, paint us a word picture.
Well, the thing that I've discovered about people is that you cannot tell how rich someone is from the way they dress. The super duper rich
Right.
often don't look like they have money.
Zuckerberg. Sweats
Zuckerberg, I
and
imagine,
jeans.
being a typical example.
Yeah.
This guy looked like a regular dude, looked like a regular working dude, dressed smartly, but not, you don't go, oh, he must be rich,
Right.
until the money comes out of his pocket.
Right.
And he sat down and he was playing, at minimum, he'd play a $500 a hand, and at maximum, he was playing $3,000 with the table maximum.
He was playing with chips, colors that we'd never seen before.
Yeah, black and purple chips, which are the crazy ones. And
Was this here or was this someplace else?
He was here at Planet Hollywood.
Wow.
And he was sitting right next to me, and we're actually, for a long time, he and I were the only two playing. And what I like about, not in the whole casino, obviously, but at that table, and what I like about Vegas and the whole casino environment is that there's a tremendous sense of egalitarianism. Like, this guy didn't think he was better than me because he was playing bigger money. We're all getting the same cards. We're all in it together. We all want to win.
Yep.
Right.
We would do little fist bumps and stuff when
Hate
one
the
of us
dealer.
would win.
Yeah.
We don't hate the dealer. Was actually super friendly,
Well, hate the
especially
house.
to him. I mean, the pit boss was just locked onto that table because
Sure.
he was playing crazy money, and it was fascinating to watch, like vicariously.
Have you seen this before?
I've never seen this level of play
Okay.
at such close proximity.
Okay.
And he would go with the chips, and you feel nervous for him.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
only playing $25, but I'm actually weirdly more concerned about his hand than my own.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can eat a $25 loss, and then I'd make it back on the next one. But like when he loses $3,000,
Oh, yeah.
or in some cases 6, 9, or even more if he's doubling down and splitting his cards. But he was mostly winning. He got very lucky. Again, he would oftentimes when he would bet big, he would do well. And the one hand that I had to tweet earlier today because I was so amazed by it was he put it. So he went in with $3,000 and got dealt a pair of sixes.
Which is shit.
Yeah, but the dealer card was also pretty weak, so they were totally splittable. Split them, got another six, split that. So he's playing three hands, so he's
That's already $9,000 in.
$9,000 in at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
And then each six that he hit was either a 4 or a 5. So that makes a 10 or 11, which you're going to want to double on against a dealer
Double
4, 5, or
opportunity.
6.
Hold on,
And
so he split and then doubled both?
he split sixes 3 ways and then doubled it, so he's playing 6 hands effectively. He had an $18,000 in next to my little $25 chip, and the dealer bust, and he cleaned out. He won $18,000 on that one hand.
Wow.
And I won as well. I made $25 back. So I was pretty pleased about that. And I'm nervous because I was first in the order of play.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do anything stupid and fuck up his cards.
Yeah.
You can do that in blackjack. If you
No.
make a stupid bet, you can take the dealer's break card.
Oh, yeah.
You can screw up his massive hand.
Oh, yeah.
So I was being very careful not to. I was playing it by the book as much as
Was
possible.
he playing by the book too?
Mostly. But it's funny, when you're playing at that level, the pit boss is always there. They're on the phone constantly with the upstairs, monitoring the play because it's serious money that he's playing for.
yeah.
Even to the casino, that is serious money.
Oh, yeah.
And he was. I played. He was in and out. He was mostly there. I sat for about 6 hours today. I took a bit of a beating. I lost a few $100 today. I'll make it back tonight. It's all good. But it was fascinating to
they
watch
have
him play.
pamphlets.
But that was our min-maxing. I was playing the minimum bet, and he was playing the maximum bet, and it was fascinating to watch.
It's got to be.
It was. I mean, it was like heart. Again, it's not my money, but vicariously, like your heart is in your throat. He would go in huge. He would go in real big, and he would get eights. And of course, he's got to split it. But he's got no money left on the table, so he goes back into his pocket and pulls out more money. I mean, and he would lose as well. And he'd often lose those hands, and it was like sickening. But again, when you're that rich, which I presume he must be, that's the equivalent of me playing $25. You know, it's like he's not going, oh my God, the kid's not going to go to school. He can eat that loss the same way I could eat $25.
So you got a
But
secondhand.
it was amazing to watch.
You got a secondhand gambling high.
Yeah, very much so.
That's interesting. I didn't know that was possible.
When he got paid off on those double down sixes, I was like thrilled for him because it was like you dream of rolling at that level.
What do you tip when you win $18,000?
So this was embarrassing. He was, you know how like sometimes when you play, you put a side bet on for the dealer just for good luck.
Yes.
He was doing that consistently, and his dealer tip bet was usually at least double what I was actually betting. I mean, it was
$100.
Yeah, it was crazy. So it was a fascinating ride. It was a fascinating ride. So we did that for a while. And then what did I do? So hooked up with Pactor. Michael Pactor, of course, was our guest.
Still rolling heavy.
Earlier in the week.
You know, I want to say something while we're talking about Pactor.
Yeah.
We were both, you and I, Norm wasn't here, but I think you and I were both worried that podcast was a little bit all over the place.
I actually found out it was much better than we thought.
Yeah, I went back and listened to some of it last night as I was editing and getting it posted.
Yeah.
And it was Mark Rain is a very big personality.
Yes, he is.
I've known him for a long time. I mean, you've known him longer than I have. He is bombastic. He is a Gary Bombastic squared, I think.
Oh, much more so.
I
mean, he makes me look like a timid wallflower.
Yeah. So
rightly so in his position.
Yeah, he's the CEO of Epic Games.
Yeah, Epic Games.
The guy has whatever bombast the guy has. He's earned the right to it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they power a substantial
Unreal
fraction
Engine is one of the most significant things in gaming.
Yeah. So when we invited Mark onto the show, we knew that we didn't think we were getting timid wallflower Mark Rain. We knew we were getting Mark Rain ass Mark Rain, and it worked out really well, I thought. So I think there's.
So I mean, it was a bit chaotic, but in the end of the day, Mark had a lot of he's supremely knowledgeable about the gaming industry.
Everybody in the panel, and unfortunately, the only thing I regret is I wish we had done 2 parts and done Pactor and Mark and us, and then grabbed the other guys off and done a second segment. Because unfortunately, with big personality here, big personality there.
We're used to being the big personalities. We're not used to being the beta personalities.
I was just at one point I was just like, damn, this is interesting. I'm gonna get comfortable and just kind of check it out.
Sometimes you just have to just wind up the clock like toy and just let it go.
Yeah, I mean it was an entertaining conversation.
But you're right. In reading some of the comments on the internet in the last day of the people who are now seeing it, the archive version, a lot of people really enjoying it, got a lot out of it. So that was good.
So I've only posted the video of that. If people want the audio, we can post it. I don't think it's necessary. I think the video holds pretty well.
You need to have the video, I think, for the full picture.
Yeah, it's hard to follow without the video, I think.
So Pactor this morning texted me and said, "Do you want to meet Ryan Seacrest?"
Seacrest in?
Seacrest in.
Wow.
And so
he's still in town because he posted the Microsoft keynote.
Yes, but he was actually here for another reason.
Okay.
He said, "Do you want to meet Ryan Seacrest?" I said, "Sure." So we went over to the Mandarin Oriental.
Does Pactor know everyone?
Well, you got to remember, because Pactor is one of these guys that if I say to you on the Tested podcast, I don't think Netflix is going to have a very good year, nothing happens. Right. If Pactor says that, Netflix stock goes in the toilet. Yeah. So he is someone that people have to keep sweet. What?
We should get Pactor to listen to the podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just tweet more. He follows Gary on Twitter.
Anyway, so we went over to the Mandarin, and I'm not. I'm dressed a little bit down today, and so when I went over to the Mandarin, within 2 seconds, I was identified as like someone that shouldn't really be there.
Oh no!
And some very smartly dressed person comes over and says, "We're closed for a private party," and I said, "I am invited to it." And Pactor was like, "Oh, yeah, he's with me," and just suddenly like the waves part.
Wow.
The Pactor party of the waves.
Well,
And so we got to hang out there, and it was a private party for, and this is the Seacrest connection, the guy that owns the company that owns American Idol, who is not Simon Cowell, he's one of these behind-the-scenes guys, but like the guy that's actually bigger than Cowell and all the
guy that owns the company.
Yeah.
The production company.
Yes. It's called CKX or something like that. This guy, he's like the mega billionaire.
He's a roller.
Evil genius behind it all. And he has so he's now funding this new iOS app, which I don't know what it's Android as well. I can't remember what it's called. I just got a very brief demo of it while we were there, but it's right. Apple apparently approved it today. It's going to be in the App Store very, very soon. It's called Whizzle or Ziggle, or they come up with these stupid names for apps.
Is it a game?
No, what it is it's like a loyalty scheme. You earn affinity points for consuming media. So it's kind of cool. So for example,
it's like get glue and
it's like
but it's better. It's more interesting than that, because what you do is, I only got a very short demo, but what you do is, let's say I'm watching American Idol.
Yeah.
And it's got a Shazam type engine built into it. So I
Yes.
press the button, and it's listening. It knows what TV show I'm listening to or watching based on the sample of the media, and it gives me 150 points for watching American Idol.
And what are the points good for?
Everything from like Exxon gas cards to Sephora gift certificates to you can redeem them in like a million different places.
So it's kind of like-
they're kind of like clout perks.
Right.
Okay.
But
So
still
I don't know
consuming
how-
content.
But
Hold
it's
on,
kind of
so
like
you're saying-
Get Glue meets
Yeah.
it's loyalty.
wish-
It's social media. You can chat about the show as you're watching. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but it's interesting.
Is this why you guys are wearing wristbands? Or were you
No,
at the
this is
Future
something
Party?
else.
The Future Party.
So we went over there and like, well, there's no Seacrest. And we're like, well, fuck this.
Seacrest
and then
out.
literally, yeah, Seacrest is out.
Yeah.
And right as we were leaving, Seacrest was coming in.
Okay.
And Mike and just very quickly Pax went over and said, "I'm Michael Pachter," as if like you should
yeah,
be
well,
honoured
I
to
am.
meet me.
Okay.
And Ryan's like, "Hello, Ryan Seacrest." So it was very quickly we met him, and then we were out and we went over to the Future Party, my alma mater,
Yeah,
kind of,
our
and
alma
yours
mater.
as
Yeah.
well, of
Yes,
course.
thank you.
And so I went over there and got to meet some of my old friends from Future back in the day. It's a very nice party. And I got to enjoy it for about 20 minutes until Norm showed up looking like an angry mother, going like, give me the stinker, like, why are you here? Why aren't you getting ready to podcast?
And just as I arrived,
Why was he there?
I was there
He
to say
came,
hi
he
to
came to get to,
No,
to get
I,
me.
no, he
I
didn't.
didn't even know you were there. I was there to say
no.
hi to some friends.
Okay.
And then
Normal, because he heard girls were there.
and then friends said, "Oh, Gary's here." I'm like,
Yes.
Gary who? I said, "Oh, Gary Woodall." Like, oh, he's supposed to be recording a podcast.
Oh my God.
And then I stormed over there.
And I just got to rewind just real quickly to continue the foodie. This,
yeah.
as much as I enjoy gambling, Vegas has really become like the food capital.
Dude,
of the universe.
we
Unfucking believable.
should make
the food in this city.
a trip just to come eat. I'm not.
And actually, I barely ate today. All I had this morning was like an energy bar and like a bag of nuts. And so when we went over to the Mandarin, they had like, the cocktail people coming around.
Orange chicken?
Oh my God. No, it was like these little kind of foie gras, mushroom, truffle, canapé type things.
Sounds good.
Oh my God. So this is the coolest. You would love this actually. I should have brought one with me because it was almost good for tested.
Okay.
It was like a grilled Cajun shrimp. But instead of the skewer that stuck into it was a syringe. And it had a little bulb at the end of like this flavor infused stuff. So as you ate the shrimp, you squeezed it and you got a flavor injection
Wow, science food.
in
Oh
your
my God.
face.
What
And it was-
restaurant was this? This is the man.
No, it was at the Mandarin Oriental, which is
Okay.
this mad place.
Okay.
And it's very elegant, and these people were coming around. So that was crazy. It was all kinds of like like you would love it, like mad scientists.
Yeah, I love
food
mad scientists.
that they were coming
Syringe
around
skewer.
with. I should have brought one of the
I didn't
back.
rate it.
Yeah.
So we did that. So the food was great. Like oh my God, these hors d'oeuvres were ridiculous.
In retrospect, it's good that you didn't, because if you'd been walking out of the door with a shrimp skewer when you
And
met
that-
Seacrest,
Seacrest, that would've
that
been
could have been
embarrassing.
awkward.
That could have been
Excuse
bad.
me, I was taking this home.
Oh
as
no!
a
I just
souvenir.
wanted to share this with my friend. I'm cabbing some food over to the PH Towers.
And very good food also at the we like like in Wedding Crashers where like Vince Vaughn is like constantly like oh you got to get the crab
Oh,
cakes. We were like that.
So this is what it's like going to parties with my wife.
Yeah.
Because her job, she's
in, like, the hospitality
She's
business.
the boss of the boss of the boss, who's doing the buying of the banquets and stuff like that. So whenever we go someplace, she's always like, "Oh, what did they have in the buffet?" And I say, "Oh, they had this and this and this." And she's like, "Oh, that's shit. You should never put chicken on the buffet because it always dries out and gets all this amazing stuff." And she's like, "The place that has the best catering is the Win. We ate the Win last night. I didn't think it was that good."
Well, the Mandarin is the new watermark for me. These mad scientist shrimp syringe cum shot things were amazing, and that's
Always
kinda
classy.
That's kind of what it was like.
Always classy. But you put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did I just say?
Memed.
Yeah, that was quick. And these mushroom truffle. I actually said at one point, it's like this. If this is what I'm thinking about becoming a Republican, because if this is, I get it now. I understand why they
the
protect
1%.
them.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is actually pretty fucking
You're only
great.
a liberal until you get enough money to live like this, is what you're saying. That's the way it goes, right?
Yeah. So that
You're
food was bacon wrapped, amazing bacon wrapped scallops, and
Amazing man, Gary.
and just crazy stuff. And then we went up to the Future Party, and they had more good stuff over there. And then we came up here, and that's it.
And
That's
that
all
was
I
your
got for
day.
So
that was my
And we're
day.
done with you.
Yeah.
So you don't have a whole lot of time left, I know. Do you
Well, no,
wanna-
but I want to hear about.
Do you wanna
some-
hear-
I wanna
Yeah,
hear
absolutely.
about what you're seeing. Just real quick,
So
like,
you got like 10 minutes. Let's
give me like the top 3 things that you saw
Yes.
today.
okay,
you're
well,
playing Donald Trump.
And then I gotta
Give
get
me
out
the
of
short story.
in order? Or do you want to build?
Whatever. I
Oh
mean,
my
you
goodness.
editorialize it for me.
8K TV.
Yeah. Okay. Well, each other.
8K TV.
Yeah, 16 1080p TVs.
So this is even
You know what I
more.
found out today?
This is
I'm gonna call
This
out.
is even more crazy than what you saw
Don't
yesterday.
fucking
Yes.
no,
Okay.
don't no.
Oh, okay. We saw an AKTV at Sharp's booth.
What did you see on it?
This is the best part, actually. This was better than the TV. The TV's amazing. Like they had these pictures. Basically, you know how you look at a 16 megapixel, a huge, massive picture, 8 megapixel picture, and you're like, you can keep zooming in, keep zooming in, keep zooming in,
Yeah.
and you read the digital watch. This was like that, but video.
Yeah. So it was
shit.
video shot natively in 8K,
Right.
recorded with basically the only 8K video camera in the world.
And what did it look like?
It looked like a moving
amazing.
DSLR
So,
picture.
You gotta talk about you.
Fuck, I'm kind of jealous. I actually would love to have seen that.
It's. I mean, it is. I had.
It was a
nerd
little
boner
different because
immediately.
not a projector, obviously. It was on 85 inches, so a little smaller than the 182 we saw.
Still
on the
pretty
4K.
big.
It
It's
doesn't
pretty
fucking
massive.
matter. It's
Doesn't
85
matter.
inches of, and
Yeah.
it was. And
And they let people get as close.
and how big is the
to
unit? It's
screen.
got to be huge, right?
But
This
it was.
thing?
It was embedded in a wall.
Yeah.
So you have
Right,
no
so
idea.
you don't know how far back it goes.
Yeah, it was probably 30 feet back.
Right.
So they let you get real close to it too, so you can really like scrutinize the details.
Right.
The video, they showed a bunch of videos. So you have the cherry blossom cityscapes.
One video
and
was
stuff
really
like
stood
that.
out.
Like, nature scenes.
Yeah,
and-
nature scenes,
the
like
typical
city
demo reel
scenes,
stuff.
and like
yeah.
Washington D.C. But again, like Will said, you could freeze any of those shots and you'd be able to read the street signs.
Yeah,
and distance.
like you
Yeah.
could literally see what was on people's watches. You could read license plates 3 blocks deep in the picture.
Yeah.
It was unfucking
Did
believable.
it kind of seem like reality? Like it was a window into another reality,
The
like a
colors-
portal into
Here-
another
Here's the
universe.
thing: the colors are a little washed out.
Just a bit muted.
Okay.
Not, I don't say washed out is too strong.
Muted.
Just
they
a
weren't,
tiny bit
They
muted.
weren't very saturated.
But now you remember I said to you yesterday, was 4K the leap up from HD? When we also HD,
Yeah.
we went, wow, like
Yeah.
this is the next leap
This
up.
is the big
okay,
leap
this
up.
is.
The 4K is a huge leap up too, because we saw some 4K TVs that were pretty good.
So how's this going to roll out to consumers though? Is this 4K and the
This
next
is
the
10
next generation?
years.
Okay, so this is the next generation beyond 4K.
It's unclear. It seems the thing is there's no standard. Everybody's 4K is a different thing. We saw 3 different resolutions of 4K today. So who the fuck knows what's happening there?
4K is
And
very
but this
simple.
8K thing is pie in the sky so far as consumers. are
There's
concerned.
one camera and one TV in the world.
Right.
Space
right.
shuttle launch in 8K was
Yeah,
pretty
the last
amazing.
one I think it seemed like.
Wow, I want to see this shit.
And then the one video that was amazing, that made the video that much better, was a Japanese video. So it's some sport where they
Japan's
had,
weird.
well, yes, it is. And this,
Yeah.
I think it's a company, this Sharp Japanese company.
It's
So,
Sharp Minds come Sharp Minds.
imagine 500, 1,000 people on a hill watching like a dozen dudes ride a massive tree log down a hill.
So
a
they
muddy
had
hill.
they had these huge hemp ropes tied to a hole through a tree that was probably 6-7 feet
Yeah.
diameter, not around, diameter, huge
Yes.
tree. Guys were straddling it with their
Straddling the
legs out
tree.
like they were riding a hippopotamus, right?
Right.
on one, and the log was rolling down the hill.
No, it's
While-
sliding. It's not rolling.
while
So-
thousands of people around them were cheering them on.
And pushing.
And why were they doing this?
Who the fuck knows?
I don't
It's
know.
Japan.
But,
Yeah.
but this is what they chose to. This is part of the footage that
Well,
they were showing.
they showed this because there were thousands of people in the crowd.
Oh, so
and
there's
you
tons
could
of
see
you can
faces.
see all the
You can
details.
see
Right.
all the colors of the clothes,
Holy
each
shit.
individual
But-
person.
but
Is there any way? Now, did you shoot any video of this?
we did.
Is there any way? Obviously, you're looking.
It doesn't capture
You,
it.
you can't get any sense of the
well,
effect.
I did some photos, and I did like the wide photo and the zoom in photo, so you
Right.
get a sense of if the photo is
Right.
this small
Right.
on a normal 1080p 720 picture, you wouldn't be able to see the details.
they wouldn't even talk
but
about what
then zoomed in, you
And
can see
who
this
makes
picture.
this?
Sharp.
Okay, sharp. All right.
It's not a real product. It's not something that's ever going to ship. It's essentially infinitely expensive.
But are we going to be watching? Are we going to have 8K TVs in our house in 10 years or whatever?
I hope so.
Okay.
I really hope so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was pretty.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. What else?
Second thing, I'm going to call a laptop, the best laptop I think I've seen.
Oh, the
shown.
Lenovo
Yes.
A+.
Tell me.
Amazing
Tell
laptop.
me all
So
about it.
remember yesterday we saw HP had their Envy, right? 14-inch laptop. Samsung Series 9.
Glass
Those-
lid.
These are laptops getting a lot of press at CES.
Right.
They're kind of like Ultrabooks. Ultrabooks with no compromises because they can charge $1,400 for them. Lenovo is actually, they showed us an Ultrabook, real Ultrabook, running Windows 8. So
Well,
this-
no, it's a next-gen Ultrabook. It's,
Yeah.
They didn't say Ivy Bridge, but they said next-gen Core
Well, yeah, it's
i
running next-gen
processor,
Intel
which
processor.
is Ivy Bridge.
Which
Right,
is Ivy. So
right,
right
right.
now, our MacBook Airs run Sandy Bridge. This will run Ivy Bridge, which we hadn't
Okay.
seen before. Also, it's a Windows 8 machine, so it's not going to come out until probably the fall when Windows 8 comes out.
So what about it makes it the best thing that you've seen?
It is 3.5 pounds, incredibly thin,
Right.
17 millimeters thin, so,
Right.
Thick.
thick. The screen folds all the way back,
Huh.
so it turns into a tablet, and it's a 10-point touchscreen on a 1600 by 900 resolution screen, and it's $1,200.
3.5 pounds sounds a bit on the heavy side.
It's a little bit heavy.
Well, for a 13.3 inch laptop.
Yeah.
Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
Bless me.
A touch interface too. So the Windows 8 stuff.
So do you have
yes.
some geek lust on this? Because you were handling it?
It's pretty good.
I think if this shows the promise of Windows 8, like tablet
And it's
laptops.
how much? 1,200?
$1,200 bucks is where it starts.
Yeah, I mean, we're
So
talking
two-
about existing laptops that, like, HP announced the NV14 has like the cool Gorilla Glass stuff.
Yep.
It's £4. It's same kind of screen, 16 by 9, 1600 by 900, $1,400, and it runs and no touchscreen at all.
Yeah, and no foldback.
And no
image.
crazy.
And also,
fold.
Lenovo makes very good laptops.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lenovo is, I think, probably my
So
one of my
yeah.
all-time.
And is
favorite
this considered an ultrabook?
And it follows Intel's Ultrabook spec, so it's
Will
for
be.
Windows 8 touchscreen Ultrabooks. They need to be thinner than 2 centimeters, 20
Sounds
millimeters.
great.
They get a little thicker for.
Did
for
they say when
touch.
this was coming out?
Whenever
probably
Windows
timed
8 comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
September, October, if the timelines are correct. I think the third most exciting thing today I saw was when Norm took a phone from a PR person and worked on it with a ball peen hammer.
Ah,
yeah.
so you finally brought the hammer.
He brought
Brought the hammer. The
We
reminder was useful.
Norm
Now-
asked a lot of people.
Did you ask permission?
Well, okay,
before
so
you,
here's
you,
how it
you
went
said
down.
before, and always
Yeah.
always ask forgiveness, never ask permission.
Oh yeah, no,
so-
that's
yeah.
a rule of life. We went into North Hall, which is like the crappy car hall. Like half its cars,
It's car audio.
and half of it's eye shit, right? Eye stuff. You know,
Right.
like eye
just like cases and shit.
weird
the
beanbag
Eye
cases
Lounge
for your
Pavilion is
iPad.
that.
Right.
But-
A bit Kenty.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Right.
And we were looking for case manufacturers, iPhone case manufacturers, that would claim that their cases could protect against all types of damage, like
Right,
rugged
right.
cases.
Like
And
that
then
one
Norm-
that Patrick Norton had that was
Exactly.
fucking crazy.
We were actually
Yeah.
looking
We
for that
couldn't-
one.
we couldn't remember what that was called.
Yeah, but then we were also looking for.
Wait, hold on.
Whoa. Yeah, Braga, you
what
can't
is-
chuckle over there.
What is that? You can't.
Without-
You can't share it with the whole class.
The yeah, you'll see.
I don't get what am I looking at?
Oh my goodness.
The text phrase that sits below the nav bar says tested.com.
Brought the hammer to CES. Oh, very
Wow,
good.
that's very
Okay.
timely.
Who did
All
that?
right. Oh, probably
know.
top men.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So we found.
I didn't do that.
We were looking.
Did you do that, Chan?
I didn't do that. No. Top men.
Somebody must have done it.
It's
It's
like
in the
Home
magic.
office.
It's good.
I didn't know we could do that. I thought it was hard-coded.
Walking around, and the cases all look like crap.
Yeah.
And Otterbox, we stopped at.
They
And
make
Otter-
those
they
very-
make
so
rugged
Norm-
cases,
rugged
right?
cases,
Yeah.
Hold
yeah.
on.
let
Norm
me
would
tell the
go up
story.
to case manufacturers
Yeah.
and say, "Do you really stand behind your product?" And he said, "Well, can I drop your phone?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then he pulled out the ball
Yeah,
peen hammer,
yeah,
and they all
yeah.
blanched.
Yes. Otterbox.
But I mean, it's very cute. But like, should any case really have to protect against that? Like someone going mad, going wailing on it with a
Okay.
hammer?
So you talk to the PR person, right? Again, we didn't go to the cases where they were just like fashion cases.
Right.
Obviously
Right,
not. If-
right.
No,
it had to be a
no
case that.
like the end of the world.
Yeah.
Cases.
So we went to the PR lady and she said, "Oh, what is your toughest, most strongest case?" So, "Oh, come over here. It's called the Defender."
All right.
And so we went over there to the kiosk, and of course they have the fake iPhone in the case.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
it kind of looked really cheap, like plastic. It's rubberized on the outside, but it's like
Yeah.
has a plastic like hard shell on the inside.
Uh-huh.
And more padding
double
inside
layer,
that.
right?
Yeah,
So I'm like,
triple
okay,
layer, they
whatever.
say.
Like, what can you do to this? Can you drop it or something? I drop mine all the time. And she gave me this whole spiel.
I give it to my kid. He
Yeah.
throws it around the house.
Yeah,
I'm
she
like,
knows
"Yeah."
what the talking
whatever.
points, yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, I drive my car over it." I go, "Oh, okay, now in my head, okay."
Now
she
you're talking.
claims
Right.
that she can drive her car over it.
Right.
So
It's on.
hold on, you can drive your car over it? And she's like, "Yeah, no problem." It's like,
I've done it all the time.
yeah, all the time.
She
Like,
says.
I go, "Okay, could you put a hammer to it?" And then she says, "Yeah, I suppose, yeah." And then comes unzipping the bag and breaking out the hammer.
funny you should say
Well,
that.
yeah.
At this point, we weren't running the camera, unfortunately, which was a mistake. But the look on her face was
Well, no.
when he pulled
The
the,
look on her
hammer
I
out.
want to see this lady's face when the hammer comes
Right.
out.
You can see exactly what's going through her mind. Like, these people have press badges.
Yeah.
If
Right.
I say no, then they're going to
Right.
call
Who
me
knows?
out.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Who knows
Right.
what's
And I'm
gonna
gonna
happen.
get
so
shit
she's
to my
got-
boss.
She's in a
gotta
bit
play
of a,
along.
I
So
think we
she-
put her in a bit of a sticky wicket.
So she
Norm did.
then she go, I get to ask my boss. So she went back and then came back a little while later and said, "Okay, yes, you can put a hammer to it. You know what? You can use my phone."
Right.
Holy shit!
And
Now
so-
that is
At
standing
this
on
point,
the
at this
product.
point, the look at the tables
That's
return.
joy.
Because Norm is
Oh.
like, "Oh," and as she says it, she says, "But I'm going to be on the road for the next 2 weeks, so if you smash my phone, I won't be able to talk to my children."
Right. The guilt
Oh,
trip.
so that's her way of saying like,
Yeah.
don't really,
Don't
like
fuck
pull
me.
your punches
Right.
a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay.
And then so like there was a compromise
I
kind
love
of made
this.
where
It's
she
just a
said,
mind game.
"Okay, you know what? You can use the hammer on the one on the table." I kind of reassured her. I'll use the hammer on the one that's in the display model where there's no real iPhone.
Right,
I'm just gonna
right.
throw yours around because you claim you throw yours around.
Oh my
and so I take her phone and I throw it on the carpet. It's just carpet. And I throw it against the kiosk, the plastic kiosk. and
It bounces under the booth.
It bounces
out
around,
into
like,
the
oh
hall.
shit, and I'm well to go around and get the phone back. And at that point, I'm having fun with it. I'm kind of hitting against, and then I put it down and take out the hammer and
Now,
Five
on
times.
her
Now,
phone.
did you really go at it?
Oh
Yes. So
the
Were
sound.
were you hitting it with the hammer as hard as you could?
No.
I would say not as hard as I could. That would have probably broken the kiosk.
Right.
The stand was on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a huge hammer. It's
And
a
what I
small
did,
hammer.
I was kind of smart about it. I put the phone face down. So obviously I'm not going to hit the screen, the front of the phone.
Right.
Face down and hit the back of it.
Yeah.
Right? Just on the
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
And I had no idea what to expect, right? First contact, if I heard glass shattering, that would be
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
After 3 hits,
Yeah.
like everyone, I don't think Will was prepared.
Hold on. By the first hit, I don't think she thought you were going to do it.
No,
I
she
was
had-
watching
yeah.
her. And then I was watching the phone, and then I was watching her, and the look on everyone's face.
Do you have this on video?
No, we only had one camera, so
No,
it's
we
all
had
just
these
Norm
smash-
smashing the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
but you haven't
Oh, yeah,
hit
of
the
course,
phone.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm literally sitting there. I'm like, the first one I was like, okay, this
Yeah.
we're good. And then he keeps going. And I was like,
Of
and it
course.
keeps getting harder
I mean,
and
come
harder.
on. Will's the guy who cut Fruit Ninja down after 10 seconds.
How many times did you hit it?
I hit it
Five times.
5 times,
Okay.
and then
Boom,
one
boom,
final
boom,
hit.
boom.
Right.
And it worked. I mean, the phone was fine.
The phone was undamaged.
Well, we didn't look at the back, in fairness.
In fairness, it still
But
worked.
it's still
Press the
turned
home
on.
But
button.
did you take the phone out and examine the phone
No.
outside of the case?
No, we didn't want to be there if that didn't
Yeah,
go well.
okay.
exactly. But,
But the PR, they
But it
had
still
no idea.
worked.
it worked.
Yeah.
And there was no visible damage.
No
in the
visible
case.
damage.
Okay.
to the
Literally,
case.
How
no-
badly did the case look damaged?
It was
Not
rubber
at
on
all.
the on the
Oh,
on
just
the
rubber.
outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no scratches.
All right, well, it sounds like it passed the test.
Pretty impressive. They were the only ones who do it.
Yeah.
So that we found. We didn't find those guys that Patrick
So
Norton
that's the only
likes.
time you got to bring the hammer.
I'll bring it back tomorrow.
We'll keep
Okay.
bringing. Norm's going
Yes.
to bring the hammer indefinitely.
Well, I'm also going to try Gorilla Glass tomorrow.
Ah, okay.
My nemesis. So,
All right.
The threat of the hammer, at least, will give me confidence.
so let's
Well,
see.
great. And then was that's all 3 things, right? So
Those are the 3 high points. Do you need
those
to?
are the 3. Let me see. I am. Look, I've got 4 minutes. So
4 minutes.
What
What do you want to talk about
timing?
for 4 minutes?
Let's.
What's one other thing that you saw that you liked?
You got
What's
4
another
minutes.
highlight?
That's pretty much it.
What did you eat today? You got any hot dog nugget
Yeah,
stories?
well,
I had
ate exact same
the
thing.
French toast.
Oh, how was it?
It was Wes got it. I did the split. So I ordered
Good.
the egg.
Word picture.
So like a
fried
baguette,
chickens,
like a split baguette
Benedict-
style, right? I told you it was fucking good.
Yeah. You get 3 pieces.
Yeah.
And I ordered the fried chicken Benedict, and we did the smart split.
Fried
half and
chicken
half.
Benedict's good as well, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it's creme brulee dip that they put it in.
In what? The French
the
toast?
French toast.
Fuck me, I'm having that tomorrow.
And it's like
I'm having. I
the
barely ate
egginess
today. I'm
of
having
it.
carb. I'm having a carb holiday tomorrow and going to town on that shit.
It's gonna be.
It was wonderful.
I'm bringing
sugared
the
up
hammer on
Gary.
that French toast.
Sugared up Gary.
Yeah.
Give you a lot.
I saw it. It's a whole. It looks like a whole baguette.
No, you
split
get 3
down
of those baguettes.
So,
3 of them?
3 slices.
Let's do this. Let's have breakfast tomorrow. And like, I can't eat a whole one, but like, I'll eat like a half a piece. or
What we'll do
something.
is get one of
I
those
just
from
wanna
the
taste
table.
how it
Everybody
is.
gets a bite, and you have some eggs or something. with
Did
it
you
just
say it was the
before
best
you
French
get it
toast you've ever had? Holy shit.
out. Oh, we got to talk about the Samsung transparent window.
Okay, yeah. One last thing. One more
the
thing.
thing that you saw
one more
yesterday?
thing.
Yeah.
We saw it today. We shot a video.
One
of
more
it.
thing. I love it that we've got one more.
One more
Here's
thing.
one more thing, Gary.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
He has to go.
Okay.
It is Iron Man.
Imagine a world.
Oh, so it is Iron.
It is Iron
Jarvis.
Man. It is.
Well,
no,
hold on,
no,
no.
no, there's no AI behind it. It's just
No, but it
the
looks
glass.
like that.
But
Yes.
hold on, Jarvis.
When
Jarvis
Leslie
is
Bibb
illuminated.
when Leslie Bibb wakes up in Tony Stark's bed and presses the button.
Yeah, I remember.
And then the shades are digital and it
Yes.
has like the
Yes.
pop-up stuff.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
that.
Except for it's not glowing when it's on.
It doesn't glow. The
It's-
light
it's-
comes naturally from the
yeah.
outside
Right.
and illuminates through transparent LCD glass.
Yeah.
And you can have it's a real
I'd like to
time
see
glass.
that as well. Do you have video of that?
We have
do.
video of
Okay,
that.
I would
It'll
definitely
be-
want to see that.
yeah,
It was good,
yeah.
some good videos.
We did. It was a good day
So it
today.
seems like CES is kind of warming up a little bit. Like press conference day was lame. Yesterday was okay. Like today sounded
You
like
gotta
the first day.
hunt for the
you
good
guys
stuff.
were really
I
excited.
think we
about
found.
stuff.
I'm not feeling real hot about tomorrow, but we're going to go hunting again.
Why,
That's
why
the fun
not?
of CES.
Do you feel like you've
though.
seen it all now?
I feel like we haven't been to South Hall at all, but
We've
South
seen
Hall,
half of it.
The ratio on South Hall of awesome to merely adequate to shit is real bad. So it's just wading through more and more. Now the good thing is Wes and Matt, they have braved the wilds of South Hall and hopefully have found us some kind of interesting stuff to go shoot tomorrow. We'll see.
Oh, these guys are like the advanced team that go figure out
They're
what
the
you should go look
scouts,
at.
yeah,
Right,
man.
I see. That's a
They're
good
the
idea.
Rangers. Rangers
That's
going
very
first.
smart. You guys have got like a whole battle plan.
I mean, one of the things that we found we learned a lot last year. We've been to CS a bunch before, but it's different with video.
Right.
And we had a real strong strategy coming into this to get the most that we can out
Yeah.
with essentially 4 people and 3 producers.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing pretty well so far.
It
So,
sounds like you got some the videos today sound like they'll be really fun
Yes.
to watch. Hitting,
well,
hitting shit with a hammer and stuff.
Before Gary has to go, let's take a couple questions and we'll take a quick break. Get Gary offset. Maybe bring Matt or Wes in. I don't know who's got some time. You're both writing over there, I know. But Matt, any questions from the chat?
There was one earlier asking whether you guys saw anything, any sort of like good drawing tablets or like digitizers and things like that. I know it sounds very niche. I didn't. See
So
anything,
if we say drawing tablets,
like Wacom's
like,
and screens that you
we
can
didn't
put
see
on.
Wacom there. I mean, Wacom usually, I don't know if they have a booth here.
They usually have suites. They're usually in
Yeah.
suites. Okay.
Okay, so we haven't seen Wacom yet.
It's probably, I mean, that's something a little niche. I did put on a pair of $1,500 headphones today.
Ooh, what are they like?
It was like somebody was fellating my ears.
Were they studio headphones? Like you?
No, they were audiophile listening headphones.
It's for home listening, not
They were for people who really like music a lot, and
See,
not
that,
only
if I was going to buy really expensive pair of headphones,
Yeah.
I want the ones they give to the audio professionals who mix the music.
No, because those are flat. You may not want that because they're not going to sound. These were real nice and warm. These were hooked up to probably another $5,000 or $6,000 worth of audio gear and amplifiers and stuff. It was really really lovely.
All right, one more question and I gotta go.
Sure. Let's see here. Can we put this Valve thing to rest? Valve do they have a booth? What's
We
the
don't
booth?
know.
We haven't had a chance
heard
to
back.
talk to him yet.
Okay.
Word is there at the Venetian. And that'll do it. Stay tuned. We'll be real quick break. Gary, thanks for coming by.
Happy to do it. Yeah, sorry I can't do the whole show.
don't get into
But
too much
I'll be
trouble
back
tonight.
tomorrow night for the
final?
the big wrap.
Are you riding back with us, or are you going to bail and take a plane?
No, I'm not. I'm good. We'll see what tomorrow holds. But
Okay.
so far, the ship is holding together.
Norm, what do you think? Over under?
I think Gary's going to ride back.
You think Gary's
No, I
taking
think,
the
I think
ride?
I've got too much shit to. I brought too much stuff with me to take the fly back.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Okay.
What time are you thinking about? What time are you going to
Like
get
5
on the
o'clock
road?
in the morning. I want to fucking
Are you
get.
serious?
I want to be out of here.
Remember, if you try, if you say,
Don't push it. No, he can't push through.
I can slap you if you say
You
that.
say, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
This is a slap
On
bet.
Thursday night.
I slapped that commissioner.
But hear me out. It's not as bad as flying back because you can at least sleep in the car and it's like an easier environment.
No, because remember, there's another thing you said that was dumb on the drive out that we're going to hold you to because you said you could listen to Power the entire ride on repeat. So we're going to
I stand by it. But if you want, here's the thing: if you want to get on the road at 5,
Yes.
to pack up all this shit and everything and get out of here,
Yeah.
like how early are you going to start that?
We're going to pack up the night before we go to bed.
Right, yeah, I know,
and then
but-
just get the bellhops and
But
roll.
what I'm saying is, but you usually aren't done with the show until like midnight. By the time you get everything packed and everything else,
Tomorrow's
it's like
early day. We'll be done early. We're going to start the show at 6 tomorrow.
If you say
You're
so.
looking for any excuse to push through.
Oh.
Well,
Thursday
we'll
night.
see what the future holds.
Oh.
I'm not ruling anything out at this stage.
My
You knew
God.
this was going to happen.
And then Will's going to hold me to slapping you.
I got to make my money.
Yeah,
back.
I'm a Slapback commissioner. It's a sacred task.
I'm a little
Formerly
bit.
held by Austin Hannigan.
I'm a little bit down.
Oh, you know
I
what?
can't leave until I made my nut.
Well, then you just put it all in black. I thought about dropping 100 on black as we were running through playing Hollywood.
I played a couple of $100 hands today, and it was a mixed bag. I won a couple, lost a couple. I'm not. I can't take the
swings.
I got enough grey hair as it is.
Yeah, you don't need any more.
I don't need that.
Kids on the way.
I don't love that.
You want
that-
them to
need that
remember
drama.
you young.
Oh my god, we got this. Don't you hate those dealers that do that bullshit dramatic thing when they get an ace and ask you if you want insurance?
Oh, and then
And-
they stop.
And then they
They-
do the thing. They do the
they-
fake out where she looks at the card and she goes, "Oh," but then it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, don't. Do
Or
that.
even when it's a king and it could be ace down, and they put
Yes.
it down, and then they
Yes.
stop,
Yes.
and it's as if they're
Hold
going
on,
to
so
flip
they
it
only
over.
check the mirror when it's a face card?
Yes.
Anytime I had a lot of money in, and I was, and she would give me the hit card down,
Yeah.
and she would turn it over, and she would do it in this kind of, I'm just turn it over.
Actually, if I double down, it's a high bet. I actually like it face down, the extra card. It gives it a little more suspense.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's been an interesting. It sounds like we both had very interesting days for very different reasons.
Yeah, I mean, serious business on one side, and then Norm and I went to CES. So,
Yeah, exactly.
any hints as to what's going on tonight, or is this going to remain a mystery?
So Pax is downstairs at the craps table. That's
just
what he likes to
texted you.
play.
Okay.
And I'm going to go down and meet him now, and we're going to go explore. Maybe go to Caesars. Maybe go to the Paris. See what.
Good luck, sir.
Are you going to join us later?
I'll send you a text.
You text me and you let me
Yeah.
know what you want to do.
All right.
Okay.
Will
All right,
do.
that's it. I'm out.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, everybody.
Let's shut down the show. Stay tuned. 5 minutes. We'll be right back. You just definitely. we're back.
Oh,
We're chatting
Hey.
it up.
Hi. No, don't do that.
wow. This podcast got really bad.
Canadian humor doesn't fly here. in
Joining us
America.
on the couch is Matt
Matt,
Braga.
yeah,
He's still managing the chat though, so you can still send your comments at him. So now that Gary's gone, we can recap what we did.
Let's talk about the news. Yeah. I'm opening my list. I literally have a list of notes because we saw so much stuff today, couldn't keep up with it all.
Yeah.
We talked about Toshiba a little bit.
Not actually their TVs though. We saw two things at Toshiba today. The first thing we saw was actually tablets.
Android tablet.
Android tablets, exciting Android tablets. I
you
don't
being
know
facetious?
why. Yeah, absolutely, because I don't know why. I think we said this yesterday. Companies are announcing Android tablets at CES with no ice cream sandwich.
Right. This is a massive, massive problem. There.
Even the ones that have aren't
Everything we
high
saw.
carriers.
We saw one thing today that had ice cream sandwich on. We'll talk about that in a little bit. When we walked by the Galaxy Nexuses at Samsung.
Sure.
It was pretty grim. Matt Braga, you're sitting on the couch.
Yes, I am.
Put your laptop away.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought you wanted me to man chat.
Wes Fenlon has a microphone on.
I'm
so
on-
we're good there.
I'm on the chat,
You're
Matt.
sending me mixed messages.
We had an entire conversation about this during the break.
Put it away.
Full attention. Don't set the mic down because it makes noise for people at home.
Also, on
Getting casual.
somehow we ended up calling Wes and Matt the kids.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What are the kids doing?
Yeah. What are the kids
when
doing
was this?
now?
When you guys were just
Well, it was when
walking
you guys were
walking
texting
around.
like 14-year-old
Yeah.
girls.
When Wes and Matt
Again.
were testing
Hey,
each other,
I was not romancing him. We were trying to get important business done.
it was not wooing.
Okay,
right?
let's.
It's like, oh, where the kids
You know,
are.
this is another opportunity for technology etiquette. I like having these conversations because somebody has to decide this shit. When you are using a service like GroupMe, which is GroupMe, just in case we haven't talked about it yet, it's text party line. So you have one phone number. You sign up for GroupMe. You say, okay, I want a GroupMe with Wes and Matt and Norm and Will and Drew and Thomas and Joey. And then what happens is you send a text to one phone number. Ours is an 865 number because I thought a Knoxville number would be kind of cool. And
Really?
Well, it was what was available. I was trying to spell something, but I couldn't come up with anything good. And then
Okay.
I reached a point that I just didn't give a fuck anymore. And then, so you send a text to that message, that place, and then it repeats that message with the person's name that sent it. So, for example, when I send a text out, it says Will, and then my message.
Yes.
And it goes out to everyone via text, which is great because at a trade show like CES where there's 50 million nerds and everybody has 4 smartphones and 2/3 of them are on AT&T, nothing works except for text. It's essentially the same as a war zone or like when Hurricane Katrina hit.
Well, that's why you're paying 10 cents a text.
At New Orleans, right?
$20 a month, unlimited.
Exactly. So we use GroupMe for things like communicating, getting everybody in one place again at the end of the
There's
day.
an app associated, but we don't use that.
We don't use that because it uses data.
Right.
So there's no reason
point.
to.
Yeah.
Gary was using it, but he
Just
because
text.
he's in the casino, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And we talked about this yesterday. The good thing is you can also mute. But you can't
Yes.
mute individual people.
You can't mute individual people.
You can opt out
I did look at that today.
of the entire group.
So
So what is etiquette?
so I think. Excuse me.
Whoa.
I'm almost done. I got one more, I think.
Double balls.
I think that when you have a conversation between 2 people that doesn't involve the rest of the group, perhaps the thing to do is to just use traditional SMS.
Okay.
Unless they want to passively share their conversation.
Unless it's something that may be of interest. So if it's, for example, hey, I want to get lunch, where are you? That may be good, right? Because somebody else might want to join you for lunch. Or,
Okay.
I saw this amazing thing in South Hall, you should go check it out. Perfectly reasonable to share to the group. I'm at the bottom of the stairs, where are you? Oh, I'm coming up the escalator. Oh, okay. I was just walking by the Ben & Jerry's stand. Oh, are you by the Ben & Jerry's stand in North Hall, or are you the one in South Hall? No, I went to the men's restroom. The men's restroom in the 1475-37 hall or the 1475-38 hall.
So-
and on and on and on and on and on is a perfect example of it. I'm not saying that anybody did this. I'm not making any accusations. I'm not saying that the kids did anything wrong. I'm just saying that it is possible that that is an opportunity to transition from GroupMe and sharing with Thomas and Drew and Joey and Norm and me and Gary.
I didn't care. I was fine with it. I got this like 14 messages at once. I think Will's bothered by it. I thought it was funny that we affectionately called them the kids. And you know
That
what?
is funny.
And
I'm just saying GroupMe etiquette
It
is
was-
a real thing. We
and-
need to
yes.
think about these issues
And
real
while-
hard.
See, Will, you have to understand that me
Why-
and Wes.
what- are
no,
you-
me and Wes have a very professional relationship where we text each other
Uh-huh.
to figure out what's going on.
Logistics.
Whereas you and Norm have a very, it's like a very bromo-erotic relationship. You're always together.
I don't even know what
during
that
the
means.
show.
I don't know what that means
That's
either.
a little bit
Well, it's
offensive,
like-
actually.
I was gonna say that we got to also use you,
Yeah.
guys, the kids, as an excuse to also get out of
Yes.
conversations that we didn't want, which is my point.
Okay.
None of this being annoyed stuff. It was, and not planning on being a parent anytime soon. I get to see what sometimes parents use their kids as excuses. Oh, I can't make this. I have to go do my kids thing. I got to say, the kids are waiting for us at the press room. We got to go meet them and to get out of the conversation.
Call us the kids to
Yeah,
PR people?
actually, no, it was me conversation.
No, just
to Will,
amongst ourselves.
Sorry, hey Will, we got to meet the kids.
Where are the kids,
Where are
Norm?
the kids? And oh, sorry, got to take this briefing right now.
To be completely
yeah,
honest, to be completely serious, the reason that we did that is because it's just we have everyone in the group meet. We use it to communicate for everything else. It just seemed like the right thing. To
It was
do.
the easy thing to do.
It is.
I'm
It's
not
the easy
suggesting
thing
that
to
you
do.
did this. I just know that multiple times today, I would suddenly get a minuscule second of cell service, and it would be, my phone would vibrate for 20 seconds straight as the texts flowed in.
One other point. I actually did think about this today and realized that I don't have Matt's regular number, and I assume he doesn't have mine.
I do.
It's
You
in,
do?
we
There
have
was
an
an
email. We have an
email
email
that we-
thread.
We sent an
with all
email.
our
So
numbers.
I have access to it, but I don't have it in my phone.
Oh, okay.
So GroupMe
Ill prepared
was-
is, I guess
GroupMe
that's
was
an
kind of the
excuse.
thing. Plus,
a
you guys
kind of
did the same
excuse.
thing at the Samsung
Yes.
booth
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, I'm in the RCA
Granted, it
corner.
did
No,
not
no.
go on as long.
It was one message,
I think it was
and then
two
a
or three.
response.
No.
Anyway, so I have my list of topics.
right,
Toshiba
sure, yeah.
4K TV.
No, tablets first.
Oh, tablets
Still,
first?
still
Okay.
talking about tablets.
So Android tablets, kind of boring, a little bit dumb. This is one of the reasons that CS in January is dopey. It's because it's off product cycle.
I said this what the Android tablet hardware we saw today and over CES made me realize is how bad it's Google's fault.
Google's
How
fucked
much-
up very
how much
badly.
it-
You
it's-
looked over at me 2 times today and said,
Yeah.
Google has fucked this up really
If
bad.
Google
And then you
spent
said again.
more money and making Android a better tablet OS,
Yes.
the hardware is there. Hardware is awesome.
Yeah, the hardware is really good. The hardware
Using-
vendors, like the competition between hardware vendors,
Yeah.
has resulted in them all really bringing
It's
it.
like the hardware manufacturers are trying to overcompensate
Yeah.
for what they know like people aren't necessarily
Right.
liking Android as much.
So this, like last year, Toshiba brought what I thought was a fairly generic iPad 2
their
knockoff.
Thrive.
Right.
Not very great.
With kind of bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't exciting design. The tablet we saw today, their new 10-inch, I think it's 10.1-inch tablet. It's 16 by 9. It's I never can remember the name. Is it the Excite?
It is
the
the Excite with the X.
X10.
Yep, very good.
It's a dopey name. The tablet is super, super attractive.
Yeah, I like
It's
it
a
a lot.
lovely.
Yeah.
It's a square bezel. About that thick. What, 5 millimeters, 7 millimeters? I don't know. It was
Yeah.
very thin.
Just over a pound. Had all the right ports that you want: micro USB, micro
Beautiful.
HDMI, micro SD card slot.
Micro USB host.
Yep.
A beautiful IPS display with great viewing angle. So, some of the early Android tablets, the Zoom notably, had really bad viewing when you had it in portrait mode. So it was almost unusable in portrait mode. None of that here. I mean, this is something I could actually see myself using.
Yep.
And then I turned it on.
Well, then you saw Honeycomb,
Yeah.
and you're like, eh.
So we've had a lot of conversations as well at CS. It's not just Toshiba. Pretty much everybody that's making Android devices that are coming out after March, or late Q1 and on, are when you say, okay, what is this going to ship with? They say, well, this one has Honeycomb on it, but we're either going to ship Ice Cream Sandwich immediately following release, very quickly, or we're just going to wait to release it until we get Ice Cream Sandwich on it. Now Toshiba has done the right thing. Their tablets are, for the most part, stock. I think everything we saw was stock. I'm not 100%. We didn't look at everything they had, but I think everything that we saw was stock Honeycomb, which is
With
good.
a few like apps they throw in, like file browser and stuff like that.
Exactly. Very, very good. Very promising hardware.
Yeah, it just shows that the hardware is ready for the software to get better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm still kind of optimistic about Ice Cream Sandwich, but we'll see how that actually goes.
But there were also many different form factors as well. I mean, we did see a 10.1-inch one. There was a 7.7, and then they had this weird one, which is a 5.5.
Well, hold on. Let's talk about the 7.7 first, because
Okay.
I got hands on with that. You weren't
Yeah.
there yet. I think when I was looking at that. But it's one of the things they did with that is it's not all brushed metal, and I think they use magnesium alloy on the
same with the
10.1.
10.1, yep.
No, the 7.7 is actually a rubberized back.
Oh,
so
okay.
it feels, it almost feels like an OtterBox or kind of one of the rubbery cases.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, it's not that bad because it doesn't have that much bulk because that's just the back. You know, it's not like you're adding something on top of the device. It's just a sturdier tablet, which I think is okay.
Well, for the way some people hold their
Yeah,
tablets, sure.
and for 7.7, you're going to hold it one-handed a lot of the time. You don't want something that slips.
Is it like the grippy rubber that a lot of the Blackberries have in the back of them?
What's a BlackBerry?
It's a Canadian thing.
Oh, it is. No, it's not like the smooth, like antibacterial, plasticky surface that I associate with. I guess, but BlackBerry Bolds do that. Some of them had leather on the back.
the Zoom had a kind of
it's
matte, rubbery surface.
This is more
Fake rubber.
more knobbly.
Was it real rubber, or was it just like rubberized plastic?
It was squinchy.
Oh, okay. So,
I mean, it may not have been rubber from a tree, but it was like a rubber analog. It was grooved. It was grooved. Well, actually, it wasn't grooved. They were raised surfaces that were flat and about, I don't know, probably an eighth of an inch wide in a pattern that made it easy to hold on to, which I thought was really nice, and it added a little bit of thickness that wasn't. Thickness isn't always bad. Thin is not always.
that's
the
the
best
kind
thing.
type of like diversification in hardware that could be good. Like some people will like that kind of surface.
Exactly.
And
Well, especially if you're doing it like in a kind of industrial setting where you're, in an airplane engine, you need the manual right there, and you want something that's a little bit sturdier. So
you know what still bugs me? The cameras that they put in. It always is funny to see someone taking a picture with a tablet.
do you know? Yeah, I feel bad
And
for
I've
them.
seen many people here
Yeah.
taking pictures of TVs and cell phones with an iPad 2 or an Android tablet.
I saw a guy taking a picture of the 8K Sharp
Right.
TV with an iPad 2. And I was like, dude, that picture is it's gonna make something that is really nice looking
Yeah.
look like complete shit.
Yep.
Do you know how many times I've used the rear-facing camera on my iPad?
Not many.
When I was FaceTiming my parents and wanted to show them the dog. Yeah. That's it. That's the only time I've used it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, some of these tablets, though, I mean, they have like a 5-megapixel camera on the back.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. And actually, the sensor is quite bad on those,
Yeah.
the cameras.
As far as, while we're still talking about ice cream sandwich, I mean, if we could, because you've seen a lot of tablets at this point, ballpark figure, how many ice cream sandwich tablets are there at CES?
None that I've seen so far.
One, Lenovo.
No, that was not
No,
an ice cream
the-
sandwich.
The one on the table was ice cream sandwich.
Oh, the one we didn't look
Yes.
at. Oh.
The one I looked at.
This
you
is
did.
a little concerning. I mean,
It's
like-
a topic of one of Ryan Whitman's story for tonight.
Yeah.
He wrote up right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so
The
looked at
timing.
the
It's a
site
timing
saying-
thing.
yeah.
I mean, ice cream sandwich was released in early December.
Well, the
Well-
Galaxy Nexus kind of pushed back a while, and we've been hearing about ice cream sandwich. I mean, it was at I/O last summer, so
Well,
Let's
but it's
say
every
November.
6 months,
Yeah.
basically. They're on an Ubuntu style release schedule, where they release a new OS every 6 months. And I mean, there's no excuse for it to lag this far behind. I understand that Google keeps this stuff close to the chest. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about the 5.5, because it was pretty cool looking. It was behind glass.
I
though.
didn't get a chance to touch it. I just thought it looked like a phone, but it was
It was the same size as the Note.
Yeah, the Note is a 5.5.
but it's wide. It's wide.
So it's a CinemaScope, right?
oh,
wider,
really?
wider aspect
CinemaScope
ratio.
tablet.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was interesting, just from how it looked. Yeah.
So one of the things, I can't remember who I was talking to, but I talked to somebody this morning. I think it was might have been one of the Nokia people, and they said that their research shows that the reason the large screens are going in the United States right now, or growing in the United States on Android, is people are using them to watch a video, especially in the United States and China on commutes.
And all of the people that we talked to who had tablets, they all said it also plays 1080p video.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact that it's a 1280 by 800
Well,
screen.
that's the Qualcomm,
Yeah.
the new Qualcomm SoC with the updated
plays,
Power VR graphics.
plays 1080p video. If battery life is
and
there,
records
sure.
and records.
Sure. Yeah.
So that was pretty good. We also got to see Toshiba 4K TVs.
Yes.
And these are different because they're actually real products. They're selling them in
Yes.
Japan right now.
So remember last year, the 4K TVs we saw glassless, free 3D TVs.
Yes.
Like the ones we saw at Toshiba last year.
We saw them at Toshiba. We saw them
They
at
were
Sony.
very controlled environments where you had to stand behind, 5 feet behind,
Yeah.
5 to 7 feet behind rope, basically. The Sony one, it was behind closed doors.
Yeah.
These
The
Toshiba,
Sony one you didn't have to. The Toshiba one had foot placements on the ground where you should
Correct.
stand.
Yep.
The Sony one did not.
Right.
And these are lenticular, so just like anything else, like the thing that they used to stick on the front of cereal boxes to make it look like it was Captain Cookie Crisp and the cop. Right,
Yes.
you look one way it's Cookie Crisp, one way it's cop, one way it's a dinosaur, one time it's Fred Flintstone.
a little bit interlacing.
Yeah, a tiny bit, but it's vertical usually. And what this does is gives enough of a different impression that one column can be for left eye, one column can be for right eye, basically.
So last year they were kind of prototypes. This year they're real. And not only are they real, they're actually being sold right now in Japan.
Yeah.
4K TVs, actually a late 2011 product.
Yeah.
And they're releasing them in Europe. I think around now.
This is Toshiba still.
Toshiba, and later in the year in the U.S. Again, probably because there's no 4K content.
Right.
They don't really see a big market there.
Right. So what we just first off, not a cheap TV.
Not a cheap TV. In Europe, they're selling them for 8,000 euros.
Yeah, $10,138 at a 1.3 to 1 conversion rate, which is what was accurate as of this morning at 9 o'clock.
On Google.com.
Yeah.
And
Do not use that for commercial
yes.
purposes.
Says Google.
There
as
has
well.
to be
disclaimer.
a disclaimer for that. Yeah.
There were 3 demos.
Okay.
And I guess you start with the demo that everyone assumes you ask when you see a 4K TV. How much better is it than 1080p?
Yeah.
So the first demo had two of the TVs next to each other.
Yes.
And one was showing straight 1080p content.
Yes.
And next to it was that same piece of content upconverted to 4K.
And a 4K TV, just to reiterate, is essentially the resolution. It's not exactly right because 4K seems to be a kind of it's a little amorphous right
Depends
now.
on the aspect ratio.
Yeah, well, it depends on the manufacturer too.
Yes.
But basically, it's the same resolution as 4 1080p sets in a square or rectangle.
Rectangular configuration.
Right.
Yes.
So so one was scaled up 1080p content. One was 1080p content. The 1080p set was the only thing that wasn't the same set. Everything else on this wall that we're going to talk about is the same TV.
Correct.
And the scaler on this one,
Built into the TV.
Built into the TV.
So you just plug in HDMI, plug in whatever feed you want. We're talking about a 55-inch TV, by the way. I thought it looked really good.
It looked really good, especially if you're standing at the kind of distance you normally would stand to watch a 55-inch TV.
So the demos they were using obviously were optimized for the demo. They had like text that was that like on brass instruments or something.
Yeah.
And then they kind of upconverted that so it was sharp at the edges. They had some like
there was still
weird-
some text aliasing on those, especially.
I mean, but there's enough. I mean, the low detail patterns they had were still patterns, so that when you use that data to extrapolate to make it high resolution, because they're patterns,
4 times
they're
the number
more
of pixels,
regular.
basically. Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a wildly different detail.
So there was this one thing that was almost like a mandala or something like that.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I was a little surprised that they chose it because it did not look particularly good. There was a lot of shimmer, which is one of those things that you immediately notice when you're seeing up-resed, scaled up video images. So I almost think that they did that. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why you would show that. It did not make it look particularly good. It's not the kind of thing I would ever watch on the TV though. Mm-hmm. So the more like the nature scenes and the polar bear swimming through the water and all the crap that you normally see during these demos looked surprisingly good. Not as good as the Sony 4K yesterday, the projector, but also it's that's 2.5 times more expensive than this.
Yes, and we're still talking about the upconversion stuff from 1080p.
The upconversion stuff.
Yeah. So in the second demo, they were showing glassless 3D, and like Will said, it's lenticular display, 9 spots, so there are 9 people who can share and watch 3D, and there's head tracking built in the TV. So in the demo,
well, head tracking only works for one person.
yeah, correct.
So the way that works is there's a camera at the bottom of the TV. When it sees one person watching, it tracks their eyes, and it doesn't move the lenticular screen. It actually just moves the image underneath the lenticular screen, just slightly. You get an unnoticeable amount, and I got up super
And
close.
it wasn't like once it tracks your eyes, like in Mission Impossible 4, you can walk around and it would shift.
You mean
the
the hallway
image.
is what you're
the
talking
hallway
about,
image, yeah. It's more like if you're looking at it, it tracks your eyes, and you tilt your head a little bit left to right, you wouldn't see the overlap. The
Exactly.
crosstalk. I thought the 3D looked okay.
Well, the 3D was subtle.
Definitely, they were not showing like Sony style jumping out of the screen. It was very subtle, just like animation that looked a little popped up.
It was. I wasn't offended by it. I spent probably 10 minutes looking at one of the demos. I think it's fine. It's nothing. It's like you said, nothing special.
I don't think glassless free 3D is ready yet.
I think I prefer the much more subtle effect to the leaping out at you. We looked at the Sony glasses free 3D stuff, glasses free 3D stuff a little bit yesterday as well. It seems like it's not. It's a much less pronounced effect as well, which I actually kind of welcome. I think that's okay.
On lenticular displays, can the strength of the effect be changed in the same way that you can with the stereoscopic glasses?
That's a really good question. I would assume so, but I don't know for sure.
Like, because I'm just trying to figure out how you would do that.
I don't think you can.
You know?
The depth, because then the actual...
Squinch things further apart, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
really
It's
interesting.
an interesting question.
Another question is, did you guys go by the Sharp booth? I can't remember.
We talked about that.
We talked
Okay,
about
so
that
we
already.
talked. Okay.
We saw the 8K.
I was going to ask you to compare.
We saw the dudes
upscaling
riding the
on
log.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
so the Sharp wasn't showing upscaled stuff at all.
Yeah, they were.
The Washington D.C. stuff was upscaled, right?
No, he's
they
talking
were
about
on the
this-
4K displays.
on the
Oh, we didn't
4K.
look at the 4K displays.
We only
of
saw
Sharp
the
at all.
8K one.
Oh, so
Yeah.
when you were talking about upscaling a second ago, that was the 8K that were upscaling?
No,
on
the-
Toshiba. Pay attention, Burger.
No, I know, but I thought you were talking about upscaling 4K at Toshiba.
We were talking about upscaling 1080p
Yep.
to 4K
Yep.
on Toshiba.
And Sharp did the same thing. I was asking. you to
We
compare
didn't see that.
Oh, we didn't see that demo.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we saw at the Toshiba booth for that TV was 4K content, real 4K content.
Yeah.
And it looked really good because the 4K stuff we saw at the Sony demo yesterday was on a 182-inch, theater screen.
Much
Yeah.
bigger pixels.
And this is on a 55-inch screen. Some of the nature stuff they shot just looked amazing.
I think it's
Really,
going to
really
be really interesting to see what sizes all the manufacturers choose for the 4K stuff. Because when I spoke with Sharp, they said they're probably not going to do anything lower than 60 for the 4Ks.
I'm
Which
fine with that.
which
That makes
is
sense.
about right.
Yeah.
I think 63 inches is right.
63 inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good size for
Why
TV.
63 inches?
That's,
Mom?
that's the size TV I have.
Okay.
It's a good size.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
The what was that?
I said okay.
Okay. The 4K stuff, it's interesting. It really is incredibly dependent on the scaler. I don't know what the situation is. I have no idea what scalers to scale from 1080p to 4K are costing at this point. Typically, scalers are such a niche product that they get crazy expensive to get good ones. If I was using that Toshiba TV, I don't think I would be able to live with the built-in scale. I think I'd have to get something better.
So you buy.
I think I'd have to. I think I probably wouldn't buy a 4K TV right now. But I think if I was,
I don't think anyone is in the market for a 4K TV right now.
I guess that's fair.
Except Peter Jackson.
Yeah, and Spielberg.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Dude shooting with red cameras, 5K cameras.
That's
Want to
true.
watch home videos, 5K home videos.
So what was the resolution? So it was 3160 by
39 something.
no,
by-
no.
Are you talking about the
the
Toshiba one?
Toshiba one. 39.
39 something by 2160.
Yeah. Okay. So
Sony's
2100
was-
to see vertical
yes.
lines basically.
Correct.
Okay.
1080
Interesting.
times 2
Yeah.
vertical. After that, what do we do? What do you
I
guys
have a
do?
list.
What did we do?
Yeah, what you guys did.
I went to talk to the Wireless Power Consortium today.
Oh, the
and,
QI people.
Yeah.
Key. Is it key or Qui? How did they pronounce it?
I think
Did they say it?
Key,
Key?
yeah.
Okay.
It almost, like, I thought they were talking about Qi for a minute.
Okay.
I was a little confused. And I also looked at Mirasol e-reader tablet
Oh yeah,
devices.
so what is the name? Okay, remember when we did the Mirasol video back at a digital experience event? There was a long technical
Interferometric modulation.
inter
Inter or intro? I think it's
intro fera what
Metric.
metric modulation inter
This is terrible.
interferometric modulation.
Say it
Yeah.
5 times fast, Norm.
Interferometric modulation. Interferometric
Okay,
modulation.
we're good.
They,
Blah, I
they
can't do it.
remembered you guys because
Really?
because of that bit.
Fuck yes.
Nice.
That's all I care about.
Never let it be said that we're not memorable. People get either really excited or a little scared when we show up at their booth.
Interferometric modulation.
Have you noticed that?
Interferometric modulation.
The excitement or scared?
Interferometric modulation.
That OtterBox woman is never gonna forget you, dude.
Yeah.
I would love to see their reaction next year.
I would guess that they're gonna get a fair amount of mileage.
So
out of that,
Mirasol, is it better now?
It is better.
Could you read on it? Could you read a book on it?
Is it
you
on
can-
a Kindle
you can read
yet?
on it. It is not on a Kindle yet.
Oh,
so
then
the
who cares?
problem with Mirasol isn't really a problem with Mirasol. It's a problem with the devices that it's on.
Yes.
That is, and these things just aren't aimed at us. They're not
Human
aimed
beings.
They're not aimed at the U.S. market. They're aimed at
People.
the Korean market and in China.
Is that because people in Korea and China will buy anything, or is that because
They don't have e-readers there really to the same extent that we have here. It's a lot more driven by like Samsung, is doing tablets over there.
So why did they say why that is? Is it a character thing or?
They talked a little bit about. They said Samsung put out an e-reader over there and just killed it after like a month.
Okay.
I guess people
It's
just
because-
weren't buying them.
Oh, killed it because nobody was buying, not killed it.
Right.
In that they cornered the market.
Right.
Okay.
Right. They just killed the product.
It's
got
because
rid
the
of it.
people who are successful in ebooks now are the people selling the books.
Yeah, so the readers that they're selling over there are actually with the companies that are selling them, because obviously Qualcomm is making this technology, but it's not a Qualcomm product on the
Right.
shelves. The guys that they are partnered with are providing like book libraries and stuff like that, because Qualcomm didn't want to set up this device that would basically be a channel for pirated books.
There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that someone working at Amazon right now is meeting with Qualcomm on a regular basis, figuring out when Mirasol technology or something
yeah.
like it, or competing technology, will be ready to be unveiled in some future Kindle as finally ebooks, but e-magazines.
Color ebooks.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
just finishing my article on this, and basically it's going to come down to when they finish their factory to pump out like actual
panels.
mass
Yeah.
production.
Yeah.
Because they only have like a small R&D factory right now that's putting these out. Next year is going to, like, Mirasol will actually have a shot
There may be a thing.
at something in the U.S. or in a market where they can, actually, they have to have enough production to make it in the U.S. or Europe
Right,
or
of
whatever.
course.
So it's either going to be Mirasol coming out in something really cool, or maybe E-Ink is going to haul ass and get their color E-Ink technology up to scale.
My understanding is that color ink is a fairly. It's not as it's not like the difference between color LCD and black and white LCD, which is a fairly easy jump. My understanding is that it is a fairly significant technical challenge.
Yeah, so they have color
in
E-Ink,
inexpensive.
but obviously they don't have it in Kindles or
$79
anything mass
Kindles,
produced,
yeah.
right? So it's going to be interesting to see Mirasol and color E-Ink face off. Maybe they're going to
It's a race.
and then if that happens, stuff's going to get cheaper, and that's good for us.
Okay.
Interferometric modulation.
What else did you guys see? Anything, Matt?
Me and Wes went to what was the booth called? It was called Loomis, I think it was called.
Loom something.
Yeah, Loom something. Basically, it was a
It's
small
good.
booth.
Hold on.
What?
Just as a CES pro tip here.
Yes.
It's good to remember the names of the places and people and things that you see.
Yes. Now,
This is something over the years I've learned makes it much easier to discuss later on.
Visited them mid-afternoon. I have been writing many things since.
I understand.
and It's
I understand.
It's been a long day.
A notepad, incredibly useful device.
If I have the right over there.
Okay.
Sony 4K projector is the VW 1000 ES.
Or you could just commit everything to memory like Norman Chan.
Point is, this company had a few folks.
Or you can tag team things with somebody who has a memory like Norman Chan, and then I can coast like a complete lazy ass,
Yep.
and Norm remembers everything. And then if Norm gets hit by a bus, the whole show's done. We're fucked. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
So the company had it was essentially a pair of glasses.
Okay.
They were just translucent, they're transparent see-through glasses.
Okay.
That overlaid with a heads-up display, like a proper LCD viewing screen.
Okay, so we saw some ski goggles today that you pointed us over
Yes,
toward.
that was me. That was different though. That
That-
was
Well, they put like a little display in the bottom of the goggles. You can
Yes.
kind of. It's almost like like an astronaut might have in a
Yeah,
spacesuit
it's a
helmet.
view- viewfinder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very interesting.
Well, hold on. I was gonna say I thought I was expecting what you just described.
Yeah, the heads-up display.
Not a astronaut.
No,
Like,
no, and neither was I. I went into that thinking that it was going to be some sort of overlay on the goggles.
Yeah.
That didn't turn out to be the case. But I still thought it was kind of cool. I mean, a lot of people thought it was actually kind of neat. It was.
Oh, I think it's
basically-
totally neat. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it obviously lessened the wow factor.
So how does this thing work? The mystery object.
The mystery object. It, as best as I could tell, it has a They're basically using something to reflect an image off of like a small little screen of some sort.
Okay.
Onto these special sort
And
of
how
lenses.
big are the goggles? Paint a word picture.
Not very big. I mean, probably about the size of a normal pair of glasses.
Okay.
In terms of like how they fit on your face, but the arms of the glasses are rather bulky.
Okay.
So they kind of have like large, not very large, but I mean, what?
It was
No.
Loomis.
It was Loomis.
Okay, good job then.
Okay.
Nicely done. You got to own it then. Is this something you could wear in public, or is this lady repellent?
No, so this is not a. The demo that they had was basically it was an iPod Touch that was hooked up to a little box, and the little box was outputting video to the glasses. I get the impression that in the current state, they still have to. First of all, they have to license it to other OEMs to actually implement in their products.
Right.
They said they were talking to smartphone manufacturers, and they can see this being something that you have a smartphone without a screen, and the video output is all in these glasses.
Or you leave the phone in your pocket and see who's calling and who's texting without
That's
taking it out.
that's exactly. You see it all in
Yeah.
these glasses.
No,
So
you want to
it's-
watch for that. I don't want it in my glasses.
But okay,
So the point is that in its current state, they had sort of like a development kit. It was very exposed wires, looked kind of janky. I mean,
well, that's the way the stuff frequently
of course, that's the way
yeah.
it is. I mean, if someone built a really nice sort of frame for these glasses, they might look nice, but they're still kind of bulky, and I think they would still be lady repellent. The only one of the cool things is that the lenses that the image is overlaid onto, it's still just glass, and it can be cut into in any shape you want it to be. So I mean, if you want it to have really
Hold
sort
on,
of square,
say that again. The lenses overlaid on top of this are just glass.
no, it's just glass lenses, but it's a special sort of glass that picks up the image that's being bounced onto these.
Oh,
glasses.
so you could make a prescription pair of glasses
Yes,
and
you
have
can.
this
You can make.
functionality.
Yeah. So the way it works is if you. This was sort of the caveat with these things is that so Wes is gifted with perfect vision.
That
Wes
must be
could.
nice.
Yeah, it's
must
I
be
know,
nice.
right? So Wes could just put on these glasses and they worked.
Yeah.
For me, they had to drop in, so I had to take off my glasses. They had to drop in some inserts that, in an actual production version, could just be built into the glasses.
How thick are your glasses?
They are. I am a -6. I'm pretty blind.
Whoa.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so that you had to people like me had to wear a little insert that matched my prescription. The reason for this, though, I mean, it's a little bit janky, but the reason for this is kind of interesting. The way the glasses work is that the image is placed at infinity. So you are focusing at infinity, which means that there's less strain in your eyes.
So does that mean you're looking through?
You are looking. It's as if you are looking through the glasses. The best way I can describe it is if you were to put on your glasses and look down a hallway, it would look as if the image is appearing halfway down the hallway.
How does that work? How do you do that?
Science.
It's all with the way that they are reflecting these little screens that are on the side of the glasses.
I can't wait to try those.
I-
out.
Yeah, I want to try. I've never wanted to try anything out more.
They're cool, and basically what he did is there was varying brightness levels. So he demoed it for me at 40% brightness, and that was interesting because there was a video clip of a bunch of dancers on a black background. And at 40% brightness, the black background was transparent, and you could just see the dancers. So when I looked at the CES hallway, it looked like these dancers were dancing in the hallway.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was very neat. And then what he did is he said, well, what you can also do is if you don't want to see through the background or you just want a solid image, you can ramp up the brightness to 100%, and it looks like you are just seeing like an LCD.
That's fucking amazing.
It was really, really fucking cool.
Oh my god!
Okay.
If you had
So-
this technology and you gave it to someone 10 years ago, 20 years ago,
It's a superpower.
yeah,
It's a
Exactly.
superpower.
I
you
should
combine
also
that with
add-
Google, they're done.
Yep.
win a lot of Jeopardy games.
I should also add, so there was two ones. There was a pair of glasses that I tried out, and there was also sort of like a monocle device. So it was just like, it had the little sort of like reflective thing on top.
Hold
a
on.
little lens.
Could this mean that the monocle might return as a fashion item?
You know what? If they can,
You can buy monocles today.
miniaturize this thing enough.
When was the last time you saw somebody wearing a monocle, Norm?
That wasn't a dirty hipster. I don't know.
I've never.
Wait, you've
I've-
seen hipsters wear
I've only seen
monocles?
one hipster wear a
Yeah.
monocle at 4-barrel.
Yeah.
I got some real Borg vibes from Brago when had this monocle
Yeah.
on, saying because it's like square. It's not your typical
Whoa,
like
a
English
square
It's
monocle?
not your English.
It's not a
monocle.
Mr. Peanut monocle.
It's like
No, no.
rectangular.
Was
sort
there no?
of-
Was there a chain?
Felt very futuristic. No, there's no chain.
It was surprisingly cool. I mean,
Wow.
I read someone else did a write up. I can't remember who, and they complained that like, oh, the colors are kind of weird and they're shimmering. But if you look at like a dark background with this thing, it looks fantastic. Like I was really impressed with how well the colors showed through.
Okay, so now this is the question that always ruins these
Yep.
descriptions.
Yep.
How far out is this as a product?
The way that, so I asked him this question exactly. I said, when are we going to start seeing this in devices? He said, 20, like within the next few years, like 2014. They're trying to, the technology is definitely there. I think the problem that they're finding is they need to find people who are willing to implement it.
How does it talk to the device, to the smartphone?
As far as I gather, it's just a standard video output. It's
So you have to have a cable.
yeah, you have to have a cable of some sort. Theoretically, you could do it wirelessly.
Cable's a deal breaker.
Yeah, no, a cable, and that's how it was demoed. It was demoed with a cable. It wasn't a huge cable, but that's why it's something that they'll license the tech out.
know what's
and if
awesome?
someone wants to make it wireless.
When people say, "Oh, it's technology," it'll be out in like 2014.
Yeah, of course.
In my head, that said, "Oh, it's 4 years away," and no, it's not. It's 2 years away.
It's 2 years away.
It's only 2 years
We're
away.
in the future.
Yeah.
High five. Never mind.
awesome.
Leave me hanging.
Yeah. It's pretty close. So, anyways, me and Wes tried that out. It was pretty damn cool.
Did you ask them if there was a spec, if anybody's working on a spec to allow interconnection between this type of device and phones?
No, that was one of the use cases he floated. He said they'd been in talks with, with people to have this sort of spec, I guess, connected with phones.
But it needs to be a cross-platform and cross device. I'm
assuming that if it was going to be implemented, it would be a proprietary thing.
Of course,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I don't know. If it was cross-platform,
the way this
amazing.
doesn't work is if it's a mini HDMI cable or MHL cable, you have to run up your sleeve and.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's
no,
horrible.
That would be terrible.
Okay, I'm busting out the big long list of items here. We touched on the transparent TV a little bit, the transparent LCD. I actually got to go to touch it and to use it for a little bit. In case you weren't listening last night, this is basically take one step back. LCDs work by they have a big. It's almost like a screen door. There's a big grid of tiny little cells. Each cell is 1 pixel. Each pixel has 2 or 3 subpixels in it, depending on what kind of LCD it is. And those subpixels illuminate in red, green, or blue to make, or in Sharp's case, red, green, blue, or yellow to produce whatever color you want. So all colors on gives you black. No colors on, let the white of the backlight shine right through. So normally in an LCD, there's this screen thing, the LCD itself, and then there's a backlight sandwiched behind it, and that backlight pushes light through the screen, and voila, you have a monitor. It's relatively straightforward technology. Samsung had 2 displays set up that they actually didn't have the backlight, and the back of the monitor was transparent.
This is the Tony Stark.
This is the Tony Stark thing that we talked about with Gary a little bit, touched on before a little bit. It's something that we've seen. I've seen kind of demos of before, but never that were this polished and this kind of slick. So Samsung had basically a window in the side of their booth, and inside that window is a little model of a town, and there were lights and stuff like that. So, but the LCD, the window was a transparent LCD, and they were kind of talking about it being green, which I guess it is because you use natural light to backlight the screen, but that's not what was cool about it. The cool thing is an interactive fucking window.
Yeah.
So.
So imagine the window behind us.
Imagine a world.
And you see, hey, it's a widget that shows you the weather for tomorrow. And then here's another widget that you can press and press a Twitter feed or a web browser. It's all touchscreen, of course. Okay. And then, on the side of the window is a, digital blind, and then you can pull it.
You pull the fake cord.
The window becomes opaque.
The background goes black.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That sounds really rad.
It was, yeah. And it was probably about the size of a 32-inch TV, if I had to guess.
How is this more polished? Because I've also seen ones before that are similar to this. How is this more polished than the ones we've seen in the past?
I've never seen this in the past. This is
on smaller scale.
I've seen this is big.
Okay.
Not like super big, like not as big as the glass behind us.
How many inches do you know?
32 inches is my guess.
Around then, it was like
40.
13. It was not super high resolution. It was 1366 by 768.
Yep.
Touchscreen was there, and that worked really well.
No,
touchscreen was pretty responsive.
It worked well for what was clearly a tech demo.
For the tech demo.
Was it IR?
They wouldn't say it didn't look like IR. They didn't seem to. Normally when you have IR, then you have that kind of thick bezel around the edge.
Yeah.
There are capacitive touchscreens that are that big. It didn't seem to be too multi-touch or too responsive. So I don't know if it was capacitive. It could have even been resistive. I think they can do resistive that big now, but I'm not entirely sure of that.
Okay.
Hey guys, I believe one of our guests is close to wanting to come in. Matt, you should probably check your Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
I was just texting.
Which guest is?
friend of Giant bombed and tested.
Oh, okay, very good. So we might have to get maybe Thomas or Joey to. Is he down there, Matt?
No, I do not know.
Okay.
Anyway, let's continue
We're gonna keep talking.
Yes.
Norman and I will keep going.
Yep.
What we'll do is just turn Matt's mic down when he needs to walk, so that we don't deafen anyone in the chat. Matt, anything else before you go that you saw that was fascinating?
Are you guys going to talk about the wheel, the solo wheel? They wouldn't.
We
let you
can.
ride?
I don't.
Don't really
I
care.
don't.
Would you call it interesting?
I mean, I liked the idea.
It looks
No.
like
So you like seeing someone ride it, maybe?
So here's the thing about it. Let's describe it. Do you remember those push-up wheels that they had in the 70s? Well, never mind. Do you
Yeah.
Just describe it as you did earlier. It is a death segue.
Yeah, so death segue is exactly what I thought. Basically, it's one wheel, and each side there's a pedal, and there's little kind of calf cups that you tuck tuck your legs into. Not very deep.
Electric unicycle.
Electric unicycle, and it's gyroscopically balanced, going forwards and back. But you have to balance side to side, is what she said. They wouldn't let us ride it for liability reasons because the show runners precluded them. I think they didn't let us ride it because we would have died.
I think that's right because it looks stupid.
It was what was that person's title?
Inventist.
Inventist.
Yes, which, like you said, sounds like a show the CBS would come up with as an inventor,
who solves crimes.
Who solves crimes,
Yeah.
exactly. Starring Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, every week, Ed Begley Jr. has to invent a new device
to
to
solve
the rape of the week.
4 episodes.
Wow.
That's how many that would show.
Just said that.
Really dark, man. You went to a dark place with that.
We've been writing it in the scary.
No, don't.
The van.
No, too much dog
Unmarked.
food. Too much dog food making. That thing looked really dangerous and looked like a $1 million liability
But
issue.
as soon as I saw it, if they let us ride it, I just knew in my head this would make a hilarious video.
Yeah, but
maybe in a crowded environment. Sure.
only if somebody died.
Yes.
But it also was hilarious. It was
Norm
really
can arrange.
sad, really sad for the people who walked up to this inventist running the booth and asked, "Hey, is this a Segway?"
Yes. I heard that 3 times while we were
was
standing
really
there.
sad.
What is this, a Segway?
Who doesn't know what a Segway looks like by now?
People at
There
CBS,
are
dude.
a lot of people out there who don't know.
Me and Wes had a great moment like that at the Canon booth where someone walked up to the Canon guy and asked him, "So do you know what the Litro camera is?" And the Canon guy was just totally unimpressed. And he kept asking him questions about the Litro camera.
Yeah.
And
that just means that guy's an idiot.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It was interesting.
Okay, Matt. Run down and get our first victim for the night, if you would. If
will.
he's here.
Done
Norm and I are going to keep going.
Yep.
We've got a Matt. We've got.
Meme that.
We're 3 down on the list.
Okay.
There's
Continue.
25 things here.
Yeah.
We saw Toshiba also had wireless charging in their booth. Going all the way back to Toshiba. All the way back.
Wireless charging was less interesting than the way they tried to demonstrate
Explain.
wireless charging. They put a tablet in a bag and they put that in a fish tank and it was charging. That's basically it. It was nice. It was cool to see a tablet in a running without
Were
wires.
there fish in the fish tank?
I don't think there were fish in the fish
I
tank.
didn't think so either.
No. It was.
They said basically they could put a flat antenna similar to what Palm HP did with the touch, or Palm did with the touchstone in the pre, and PowerMat has done kind of awkwardly with a series of third-party accessories and add-ons. It's not an awesome. I mean, I'm excited about wireless charging. Wes, you said you saw some wireless charging, and then we got off on a side tangent there
Went
somehow.
and talked to them today. They didn't have like the thing we saw at PepCom that Norm was just talking about. They had sort of your more basic, like what we understand, what we think of with wireless charging, a charging pad that you put your
Yes.
phone on or your.
And do you have to
Power
put some sort of
mat.
accessory on your phone to make it charge?
Yes. So
I'm done.
Yeah,
Out.
so the good news is they have a case that you put on your phone.
Yep.
That kind of sucks.
No, that
nobody
sucks.
wants to use that.
Yeah.
It sucks. Period.
The challenge they're at now is basically increasing the amount of power they can transfer wirelessly so that we can do more than a phone. We can do a tablet, bigger devices. But they are now embedding them in phones, in batteries.
In certain, so like an NFC antenna can be in a phone battery
Exactly.
now.
So within the foreseeable future, hopefully in the next couple years, you could go on Amazon or some site and buy replacement battery for your phone that has a wireless charger
That's much more compelling.
built into it. It is, yeah. So, because nobody wants to you don't want to put a case on your phone.
No.
And, I'm hoping that it's not going to be a super limited selection of phones that support this.
It will be.
It
Don't worry about
will
it.
be.
Yep.
Because
the
a lot of
Palm Pre
phones,
has it.
there's no removable battery, so you'd have to open the
Right,
phone up,
that's
void
the
the
problem.
warranty, and then swap it out.
So with those phones, you just have to hope that those guys
Yes.
care enough
Buy
about
in.
wireless power that they buy in and put it
Do you
in the
think people
phone.
care about wireless power?
I do.
I think people will care about them when Apple puts it on the iPhone.
Yeah, I
Or
think
or
it's,
Google Nexus. I mean, it has to
it
be
was
something
in
high
the Palm.
profile. Huh?
It was in the Palm.
I think that
Palm was a high
showed.
profile.
I think
I'm
that
sorry.
showed
Pretty
that
high
people cared
profile.
about it though. Like the touchstone dock got as much or more buzz than the phone
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
I remember when
Oh, yeah.
on Fallon when Josh Topolsky then of Engadget
Yeah.
brought that on the touch charging dock
Yeah.
got much more reaction from Fallon and the audience than anything that they did with the phone.
Dudes from the
So
Roots loved it.
Absolutely.
yeah. So would you describe wireless power right now as a technology with or without compromises?
I would say with compromises.
Okay, with compromises.
Or it's more like they're building very slowly.
How many people told you that they were going to show you something that was a no compromise something or other today?
4 people.
That was it? Yeah. It was more than that, dude.
Yeah, 4.
We talked to a lot of people with no compromise. Anyway, no compromise is still the buzzword 2012 CES.
I got an under $200 today.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what on?
It was the camera that I wrote a post about today, the 360 degree.
Did you take
panoramic
$200
camera.
and then put it above the product?
No.
Okay.
And okay, so technically
Less
it wasn't
than.
to me, but it was to a guy who was talking to one of the people showing the camera off, and he goes, how much does it cost? And she says under $200, and then he started giving her grief about that.
Okay.
Well,
It's
don't be that
unfortunate.
guy.
You don't just when they do that. What you do is you take their phone and you work on it with a ball peen hammer. That's how you
If
fix
I'd
the
had
problem.
a ball peen hammer, I would have tried that.
Exactly. We saw LG's their next Android phone. It's another gingerbread phone.
Yeah, it's one they announced at the press conference.
Right.
LG Spectrum. It's LTE. LTE works surprisingly well.
LTE Verizon.
On Verizon, it works surprisingly really well in the
Yeah.
convention hall.
It was nice.
It was downloading HD video
Yes,
really fast.
Absolutely.
I guess because no one's really on LTE.
Not many people,
Not
relatively
many, yeah,
speaking.
Exactly, relative to 3G and Edge.
Yeah.
And I think other than that, it wasn't too remarkable.
The screen looked nice.
720p screen.
Yeah, it was a nice
definitely
screen.
but it's running gingerbread again.
They had a weird color wallpaper on it. I couldn't tell. I mean, they were talking about it being a super some sort of. They had a marketing term.
Yeah.
Basically, they were saying that their subpixel arrangement was better than other people's subpixel arrangement. They didn't specifically call out pentile, but when I said, "Oh, so you're
Yeah.
saying this is not a pentile screen. This is a better than pentile screen," that was clearly something that the product guy was reacted strongly to.
Well, reaction is right because I think these companies they react
Yeah.
to what consumers are afraid of.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, is fear
Well,
created by, bloggers.
In the last year, though, we saw several pentile screen phones
Yeah.
and tablets that looked like shit.
They did.
And then when Ray Sonora, who from DisplayMate, who is I think probably, it would be difficult to argue that he's not the best display guy that's around right
He
now.
is the foremost publicized, self-promoting display expert on the internet.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, the screen looked pretty good, but they did have it was a very orangey yellow wallpaper, so I don't know if it was good or not. We'll probably get that in and test it out at some point in the next year. Again, unclear whether that's going to have gingerbread on it when it ships, or ice cream sandwich, or be updated soon. Actually, no, we know, because that's January 19th.
January 19th.
A J month, I knew. That it's going to be out. And
Gingerbread at launch.
Gingerbread at launch, and then a Q1 update to ice cream sandwich. I think was what they said.
wouldn't commit.
But no commitment.
They blamed the carriers.
Absolutely. Yeah, they did specifically blame Verizon. We saw the blast chiller. I blast chilled my Zojirushi.
Yes.
Well, you blast chilled my Zojirushi.
Put your Zojirushi in the refrigerator. The blast chiller, if you watched yesterday's show, we explained it's not necessarily a new feature, but definitely a feature people like to write about.
I think it's super dumb.
Well, it uses a lot of space in your fridge, space that could be used for produce
Or an egg.
or a carton of eggs.
Yes.
Exactly. But you could put two 16-ounce cans in it, or a bottle of wine or something, and then chill it in 5 to 8 minutes.
Okay.
So you don't miss those crucial moments.
So,
or have the foresight to put your beverages in the fridge. The night before you're gonna go watch a big sporting event.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's an inappropriate name because it is not chill with a blast of cold air.
Correct.
It is a metal ring that goes that's in a slot in the fridge, and when you put if you put it, it didn't warm my coffee up inside the Zojirushi at all because it's insulated.
Yep.
So if you put a can on there, yes, it's going to leach heat from the can into the metal ring, and you're going to get some 5-minute cold beer. I do not find that particularly compelling. I think it takes up a lot of space. I think it's dopey.
Yeah.
I think the fact that people are writing about that, I feel bad talking about it because we're part of the problem. But if this seems like something that's interesting and good, then it's a sad state on the commentary.
Sorry, well,
of consumer
refrigerators are
electronic
boring.
stuff. No.
Fridges are
French door refrigerators are it's fantastic. It's a revolution in refrigerating.
From 5-10 years ago.
You can get ice in the door, even though the freezer is on the bottom, through some sort of anti-gravity technology or conveyor belt or something. It is magic. Refrigerators. Imagine a world where your refrigerator knows that your bananas are going to go bad. Because when you put bananas in the refrigerator, they go bad.
Yeah,
we learned
exactly.
that this week.
Yeah,
Tested.
a day.
Tested.
Yeah, thanks
like
a lot.
4 hours.
Someone here in this room.
All our. How many bananas do we have now? None. Oh wait, I bought more bananas yesterday, so we're good on bananas again.
Don't put bananas in refrigerators.
That's true,
kids.
We talked about the ski goggles. I thought they were kind of cool. Basically, you can.
I think they were cool.
You don't want to map inside your eyeballs when you're
You
ski
get to
goggling.
look down. I think if you're checking your speed by looking down and not paying attention to
You're gonna
the
John
mountain,
Denver?
then possibly
Or Sonny
yeah.
Bono.
It's John Denver. Okay,
I think
both.
Sonny Bono too.
No, someone was a helicopter crash, right?
No, one was a Kennedy.
Wait a minute.
Hey Wes, while we're thinking about that, and we have a guest has arrived. A wild Canadian has arrived. Perhaps we can take a couple questions from the chat. Take an ever so short break. Bring another person on the couch. Wes, what's going on? What's everybody saying out there?
Yeah, a lot of the questions were from earlier when you guys were talking about TVs and tablets.
Okay.
Any of those in particular, like the field, either topic, or should I just grab one?
Just go for it. Pick the most interesting one.
I thought this was a good question. If I can scroll down and find it, see who asked it. One, M. Savo asks, do you think product manufacturers will move to Windows tablets because of things Google's been doing with Android?
I think that is a very real possibility. I mean, we actually, I don't think we can talk about this stuff, but we talked to several vendors who are going to be leaning hard into Windows 8, who have been making Windows. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to ditch Android to make Windows tablets because it's established. Well, it's kind of an established market, but I think that some of the vendors who are already making Android tablets, especially with ARM coming to Windows, are probably going to leverage existing designs to just release a Windows tablet at the same time. Why not?
Another question along those same lines, since a lot of times we talk perhaps unfavorably about Android tablets.
No. I can't believe you'd suggest that.
Bio Moose asks, can you guys distill down into a couple thoughts or sentences what Android is really lacking as a tablet OS?
Yes, absolutely. And to be fair, we don't hate Android tablets. It's for what we want to do with tablets.
What is it we want to do with tablets?
We want to be able to read web pages
Yes.
easily
Yes.
and comfortably and check email.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I do on the tablet. Maybe play some games.
I sometimes play games.
Yeah, that's it. And
Yeah.
you know what?
And I use Twitter.
And use Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the iPad is perfect. It's far from perfect,
No.
but it does those things really well.
Right. And video. You can watch video on it too.
Flash video, yeah.
No, I'm not talking about Flash video.
YouTube video works really well.
YouTube video.
Yes.
I load movies and stuff. I watch them on the airplane.
Yeah.
I perennially, and a lot of this I think was Tiger 2 problem because Tiger 2 had some real problems with H.264 video. But I mean, most of the Android tablets that we tested in the last year, if you don't re-encode your H.264 RIP video that works on every other device in the world, it's just not going to work on an Android tablet.
So videos.
Well, no, but
on
Android also, their players play a lot more file formats than iPad.
Yeah, but not
Overall.
not with acceleration, so the battery's not destroyed. It's one of those. It's a Hobson's choice or a
Sophie's choice.
or a Mendel's choice or some kind of choice that you learned about in philosophy class. Basically, you choose between being able to play every kind of video and having the tablet battery last for like 15 minutes. That's not real good. It's hyperbole, but
Every- yeah.
iPad encoded video that works, and it's reasonably supported. Everybody knows how to encode
I think
iPad supported video at this
To
point.
own a tablet today is to own a device with compromises.
You don't think nobody did? We didn't see any no compromises tablets.
No, I'm saying to own any tablet on the market today, including
Yeah.
the iPad and
Yeah.
iPad 2, is to own a device with a compromise. You just got to pick which ones you can live with and what your priorities are.
Right.
I mean, I really wish there was good multitasking
Yeah.
on the iPad. I wish I could do certain things. That's why I have
Yes.
a
Well,
laptop.
the four-finger swipe helps a lot, but it's not real multitasking.
No, not real.
The thing about it doesn't matter. We'll be
I
back
hope that
in just a
answers the
sec.
question. The question is, for our priorities, we don't think Android suits.
The browser's not good.
And there are alternative browsers,
But alternative browsers aren't the answer.
not the answer.
Yeah.
And even the best ones aren't up to what I want.
If Google released mobile Chrome for Android tomorrow, and Android tablets would immediately be much more interesting, assuming it functions the same way Chrome on the desktop does.
And you know what the best tablet
Oh.
in terms of like smoothness of the UI
Yes.
and not having tried too much internet browsing, but in terms of what I want for multitasking, it's Windows 8.
Yeah.
The Windows 8 tablet experience.
The Windows 8 tablet we handled today felt unbelievably fast, and
Yes.
it's a beta OS on
Yeah.
pre-release hardware. I mean, it was a lovely experience on a machine that's going to cost $1,200. The other thing Apple has going for it right now is their tools are very, very good for building apps. We've heard this from 5 or 6 big-time app developers right now, that the reason they're not developing Android apps is that the Google tools are shit. Google knows it. All the developers know it. It's really hard to monetize Android apps. So all of the app development is going onto iOS, because you can put an app in the store for 99 cents, and if it's good, and you can get to the filter to the top of the crap pile, then it'll sell some copies. Mark Rain talked about it on Monday. Was that Monday? Seems like about 3 weeks
Tuesday.
ago. Tuesday? I think it was Monday.
Oh my God, it was Monday.
Yeah, it was a month and a half ago in Will years. But yeah, so I mean the app by building that app ecosystem with the iOS and engaging millions or hundreds of thousands of developers, it allows Apple to bypass a lot of the limitations of that platform by building really highly specialized pieces of software to run on it. So that is a really long answer to a fairly short and straightforward question.
It's good though, because a lot of times people will get the perception that love the iPad, hate Android.
Yeah.
And sometimes the specific reasons why Android tablets
We just hate it because it's
have
shit.
problems. Yeah.
I mean,
it gets lost.
Yeah, I mean, the problem, we don't like, there's no, the thing that's changing now is that we're starting to see some much cheaper Android tablets coming out. So then it gets a lot more interesting, because when you have an Android tablet that's not very good and it costs $500, and you have an iPad that also has some problems but does the things that normal people do when they want to browse the web, then you're never going to recommend $500 of shit versus $500 of something that's okay, right? When you have something that's not real good at $200 versus something that's $500, like the Kindle Fire versus iPad, it's a completely different situation. What we're seeing now is Android tablets with real hardware under the hood, not like the Kindle Fire, and a standard Android experience that are coming in at significantly lower prices in different form factors, and interesting things are happening. So I think it's going to change. I'm optimistic about ice cream sandwich on tablets. We haven't seen that yet. So anyway, let's shut down the chat for just a moment or two. We're going to bring a special guest in, familiar face. He's wearing a real dumb hat right now, but I think it's Wes or Norm's hat. I can't remember. We'll be right back. Hey, we're back.
Yay!
Atta boys.
Hey, gentlemen. Will, Norm, Will.
Oh my God!
Will.
You guys had
Podcast
an
is getting
adventure.
So boring.
You guys had an adventure.
Terrible.
What?
It's the worst
What?
thing ever.
Am I boring?
The last
I'm the
segment
same.
of the whole thing. So boring. Wait, let's snore everyone to sleep.
Hi
guys.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Boyce. How you doing? What are you doing in Vegas?
I was speaking today at the Digital Gaming Summit portion of CES.
What exactly is a digital gaming summit?
It's a little
CS?
portion. There's
Aren't
actually
all
a
games
conference.
digital at this point?
Not
I guess
if
board
they're-
games aren't.
no.
But all
Technically,
slowly.
if something's, they still call things that are shipped on a disc retail.
But even though those
aren't
are
technically digital.
Okay.
digital DVDs,
Digital
this is like
Hollywood.
digital
Digital
downloads.
The Digital Summit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Summits.
Yeah, to talk
you were
about
at the
binary
top.
code. So actually, the panel was awesome. Frank O'Connor, head of Halo.
Love Frank.
Awesome
Known Frank
dude,
for
right?
years.
And
You want to know some trivia about
Chris
Frank?
Charlotte Griefer, which is
Oh, I
my
love
kind
Chris
of
Charlotte
people.
too. Yeah, good guys. Did you know when Frank plays fighting games, he holds his controller upside down?
That's
So instead of holding the controller with your thumbs up like this, he uses his fingers on the buttons and the
does it-
D-pad.
that's crazy.
And does it upside down. It's fucking insane.
you know that
Wait,
Seth
what?
Killian can beat tournament champions at Street Fighter with one hand.
Really?
He can do supers. He can do
They're
anyway.
just
Zangief supers
I'm trying
with
right
a one
now.
hand.
That's
I know
not-
it's
that's
amazing.
not-
It's
yeah,
amazing.
no way.
It's like working the thumb, or is it with
Yeah,
pinkies and
he
stuff?
does the whole, and then he presses. He moves it off during the movement and moves. It's amazing.
You know what I-
Gamers can like execute Street Fighter with one hand.
Seth can.
Can't hook a bra.
This
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
okay.
Zangief super, but no
Jesus
LeBron
Christ.
hook. He's
That was such a burn,
while.
dude. Such a burn. I mean, it's a junior high school burn too. That was really well done.
I still have never been able to take off my wife's bra.
Okay, well, you're a lucky man.
And I'm married.
Okay.
So let's bring it all full circle. So
how
Frank
many kids?
O'Connor,
How many kids do you have?
2. Every time I come on the show, it's another one. I'm just,
I know.
By next year, yes, I'm going to have 7.
We're not going to invite you back, and
No,
just
I'm
it's
just
for
gonna
your own
be
good.
represent. There's going to be
Exactly.
9 children.
you're here.
following me. I'm
Exactly.
glad I'm here,
Well,
too.
tell the story. You couldn't get here last year, but you wanted to.
Yeah, Braga bounced
I
you,
was
right?
in the basement. Matt Braga bounced me. I was in the basement, cowering in the corner, drinking a very low alcohol cocktail. And I was
Yeah.
like, Matt, I'm downstairs. Where you at? Where you at? And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm ignoring you / ignore.
I
Yeah.
think it was like, did Matt even know who you were?
I think Matt.
There was a mix-up.
Well, he was
Right.
doing a Canadian trivia thing and got the one that I put on wrong, and then he was mad at me.
So you're on your phone in the casino on chat.
By the way, the
Trolling
Steve Martin,
Braga?
the Steve Martin that he failed at the other night, that was mine.
That was good.
Really?
Because I knew that because
Yeah.
I always thought he was Canadian as a Canadian.
He looks Canadian.
And I knew because you always think awesome comedian.
Yeah.
Canadian,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
he's
so I threw
floppy
it out there
head.
and I stumped the effort.
What about Mike Myers?
Yeah, we've got beef.
Okay,
Him and I, because last year he cut me out.
that's good. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good to have beef with the
I'm-
youth of America.
Yeah, it is. Or the youth of Canada. Youth of
Well,
Canada.
he's in America now. We're keeping him. He's okay.
So, say house.
house.
Oh,
So you said
no
yeah.
problem.
Say
9
moose.
years. Moose.
Okay. Say mouse.
Mouse.
Say the mouse went
No.
into the moose's house.
The mouse went into the moose's house.
See,
No
it's dead
problem.
simple.
9 years, Matt. 9 years, dude. You'll get your stripes one day, son.
Do you carry a little chit around with you?
No, but I do. I remember the day I was living in Chicago and I was talking to my parents on the phone. And my sister was on the phone too, and she goes, "Oh, we just bought a new couch." And I'm like, "I've never heard the accent before."
Yeah.
It's just part of my being. And then I heard it, and I was like, "You fucking Canadians!"
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "But that's me too."
You with your flappy heads and
And
your
then the weird thing is, I was on a call
Bryan
2 weeks
Adams.
ago. 2 weeks ago with this guy from LA, and he goes, "Are you from Canada?" I'm like, "I've never in 6-8 years nobody's asked me that." He's like, "I can hear certain words." I'm like, "Are you stupid face?" I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
I was stumped.
You just hang up the phone and walk away.
So Frank O'Connor's on the
I
panel.
love
with
Frank.
us.
Yeah.
Chris Charlotte.
James from Hasbro, who's the head of all the digital interactive stuff.
like Monopoly and stuff like that. or-
He battled like all the video game extensions that they're doing.
Oh, okay.
He's the head of
That's
Battleship
the word
game,
for it now. Extensions.
GI Joe. Well,
Okay.
it was a
Battleship game based on the movie, based on the game.
based on the movie that's based not on the. That movie boggles my mind.
I can't wait
But that's
for
it.
a Battleship game that is Battleship, that is voiced by Liam Neeson instead of the electronic Battleship voice.
see?
But they won't. They'll make it an action game. They'll make it as crappy as GI Joe. Anyway, nice guy. They doing a great job.
Okay.
Then we had this other guy, Jeff Gomez, who works for a transmedia company he founded, and they help create fiction around bigger plays. So they worked on
Transmedia.
It's the big buzzword.
Transmedia
Based on
means-
the-
Awesome dudes. What were you doing? Were you moderating?
No, I was on it.
Oh, okay.
I work with the YNC company and MGM
okay.
and
All right.
Kraft Foods, so
You're in the biz.
I tricked them. And then the guy who runs Stardoll, which
Okay.
is a 140 million user female tween thing.
Something we had no idea existed.
Right, but check this out. So yeah, we can make fun of social games and dress up dolls and stuff like that. So they became so popular.
I actually don't make fun of that. I think it's really cool.
I do.
We've fucked up for years. Well, no, the game industry has fucked up for years with games for kids, girls
Yeah,
especially.
no, I agree.
And I mean, it's
Who knew they just wanted to put clothing on dolls?
right.
Who knew? Shocker. So
Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball.
Yeah,
lots
I want
of
to
I
dress
thought-
up those girls.
lots of
lots of
Perfect game
lots
for
of
girls.
women friends.
Gina loves it.
Yeah,
So-
love it.
So
She thinks it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But she likes it. Offensive.
Stardoll ends up doing a deal with JCPenney, takes these the most popular digital clothing collections, and releases them in the store.
Brats.
Increases you can buy the full outfit
Oh.
that are virtual that
For
have
you.
never been for your body, not for a little
Wow.
kid. Increases the volume of visitors to jcpenney.com, unique users by like 8,000%.
More so than
sells
the-
out more so than any program they've ever done.
Even
Sells out
the cheating
entire
on Google
collection.
one?
Cheating. Yeah.
Yeah, even when they cheat on Google for like a year and a half.
Yeah, like
that is
just
impressive.
through the roof. Sells out in a matter of weeks. So JCPenney goes, maybe we're onto something. Doubles the in-store size of the display on, and now Stardoll's like the new.
That's
it's-
crazy.
But for
What is
I mean,
the
for
dude
me
equivalent to
as
that?
like, what is the what?
What is the dude equivalent for that?
Dude equivalent of something virtual. I guess
It was-
buying.
no, it's that you
tough.
decorate a car in Forza, and then you go buy the car, and it has the decorations from
vinyl?
Forza. So it has an enormous cock on the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That somebody else balled that Johnny
Yeah,
made.
yeah, exactly.
And tricked me into downloading it.
A couple of big scrotum hanging off
Yeah,
the trailer hitch on the back of your car.
Hairy chest with
Exactly,
JD.
exactly.
Gross. Anyway, but the
So
fact that
gross.
the digital good has become a real world thing and vastly
Yeah.
popular and has changed the way that JCPenney, it was interesting. I mean, again, transmedia, right? Turning digital into.
I thought
the rest of it
this
was
was a sex thing, but okay.
no. It was interesting. I mean, we talked a lot about what successful campaigns were where they took an IP and made it transmedia, and I said none.
Yeah,
I
that
was
seems
like,
about right.
None.
Yeah.
None of them have been awesome.
What about
Because
fingerprints?
People don't. What?
Is fingerprints transmedia?
What is that?
You remember the WoW? You could print your character from WoW.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Ed Freeze. He's a
Yep.
smart dude. I mean,
Yeah.
that's awesome. But I'm thinking about a whole campaign. Like Avatar, the movie was great. The
Yeah.
game was crap, and then
Yeah.
and then like so a real true approach made by creative people that actually give a crap.
Not
about-
just shoveling
not just
crapware.
shoveling.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And that was sort of the big thing we were trying to solve on
Not
that
for
panel.
synergy's sake.
I precursored. I said I don't want to say this word, but I'm about to say there needs to be more synergy.
Oh my God! It's just like in good.
And then I
Company.
flipped the table.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
started
drop the
showing
mic and
them.
walk
Yeah,
away.
Yeah.
Boom.
But Frank's a good dude, man. It was fun. It was good.
So you just see anything in the show?
I went to the floor. I went to the Kensha Hall,
Okay.
the northern part of North. I
There's-
feel like I'm in Game of Thrones. It's like the northern part of the North Hall.
Yeah, winter's coming.
Yeah, winter is. After spending some time in that corner of
Yeah.
the world, winter's.
Did you see the Audi booth?
No, I don't. Maybe that was in the
That's
southern.
It was in the
Southern
southern
part,
end of
yeah.
that
That
hall.
was the central northern.
The Audi booth. I'm gonna give you a brief description of what it is.
Yeah.
If you took
This
the,
is good beer.
it's
I actually don't like Heineken.
well, it's what they had in the convenience
it's
store
wonderful,
in the
yeah.
grocery
You guys
store
are amazing.
downstairs. If you took every light bulb that's in the entire rest of the convention center and then took that number of bulbs and put it in one like 12,000 square foot booth, that's how bright the Audi booth is. It's like a white cube of sun.
Yeah,
It was like
in
being in
Vegas
Tron.
at like 10 a.m. That's the last thing you want.
You
is
know,
that brightness.
Everyone was like
It
squinting.
reset my circadian rhythm when I went inside that booth.
I don't even know. Is that gear in Star Wars: The Old Republic?
No, dude, it's the thing that makes you sleep at night and wake during the
okay.
day.
I thought
You're
thought
from
it's some
Canada, you
awesome
should know
level
this.
40 gear that I need.
When you get above the 49th
Right.
parallel, it's dark at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun comes up at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Vancouver. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this is what those people need. They need this sun booth to go in. You put your loony in there, you get 5 minutes, and it blasts you with enough healing rays
And
that
then
you
what
wake
happened?
up.
And then what happened?
Then we went someplace else and saw something better. Norm beat a phone with a ball peen hammer.
They asked him to do that?
No, he just did it.
No, that would be fun if they asked me to do it.
He took it. He said, "Hey, can I chuck a phone around in this case, this sturdy case?"
A lot of underwater cases. Are
Yeah.
there a lot of people swimming while on the phone?
You know,
these
Joel,
days?
Can we bring like a
And the
bag
best
full,
part was
Ziploc bag
they
of
were
water?
Ziploc bags with a fucking logo on the side. I can swear on this one, right? I can do a joke. Okay, good.
fuck shit piss
Yeah,
cunt.
okay.
Yeah.
Who's swimming? And then who's pulling the Walkman out? He's like,
Norm's losing his shit.
nieces and nephews
This
can
is,
never watch
it's Vegas after dark. If we can't curse here,
That's
then where can we
that's right.
curse?
Amen, brother. Yeah, swimming and phoning.
Yeah.
They're like demoing. They're like, I could talk through the.
No, here's,
Like, and you
here's the
blah, blah,
thing.
blah, what the fuck are you gonna say?
What do the cases look like?
Is it, it looks like a fucking Ziploc
my
bag.
God.
I
That
saw-
size to the device
Yeah.
with a Ziploc top with the logo of whatever the device is on the back. In case you didn't know what an Android tablet looked like in a bag.
You know,
it's like a Ziploc
you know,
bag.
I'll admit this. I have taken baths with a Kindle in a gallon Ziploc bag because I want to read my book in the bath.
That's weird. I almost.
Do you not read the book in the bath?
I almost. Okay, two things. TMI. I almost dragged and dictated to my iPad in the bath today.
Okay, I can see
Who goes to
that.
Vegas and has a bath? First of all, I guess I do. But
We
I
have
almost
baths.
dragged and dictated
Yeah.
in a hotel.
In the suite.
It's kind of weird. That's a big thing.
I have a process for the hotel
I'm in the
bath.
Imperial Palace, my friend. This is
Oh,
odd.
I wouldn't touch a bath in Imperial Palace.
That's why I didn't see a lot of blue light, scanners.
Yeah, no,
Thank God. I
don't
didn't
don't
want
turn that on.
No.
It looks like the surface. It's like
Wi-Fi
the
is
audio
like $30 a night. I mean, this is like
Wow.
it's a Stone Age.
Does it come with a free
No,
prime rib
It
buffet?
comes with a 300 baud modem.
Okay, that's pretty good. We have fat internet here. Oh
Don't
yeah.
tell me that.
Oh yeah. I'm not
I get
telling
jealous
you. Well, you can connect to our Wi-Fi. You can mooch.
right now, but I didn't bring all my gear.
Well, too bad.
I
You should
brought
have
my
planned
laptop
better.
to play Star Wars.
Oh,
I've
that's,
not played Star
this
Wars,
is-
but I brought my
this is
laptop.
a grim place
My
to be.
Asus Republic of Gamers laptop.
Hey,
but
Asus. ROG.
I heard you. I'm gonna call it Asus. I don't care how you say
It's
it.
Asus.
It's not.
I had a
Asus.
15-minute conversation with Nokia people this
You
morning about
keep-
the proper way to say Nokia.
Nokia.
There's
Nokia.
different
Nokia.
pronunciations that are acceptable in the United States, England,
I don't-
and in Finland.
I grew up calling it Mario. I've changed since I moved to the U.S.
Pasta?
But all my family now it's this battle because I pronounce everything Americanized.
Yeah, the right way.
And avocado, my mom calls it.
We don't
That's
take
weird.
language.
But my wife is American and she called it Oregon.
Well,
That's just strange.
That's in the song.
it's weird. It's weird. Hold on. We were talking
Cool
about
stuff
something.
I saw.
Yeah.
North of the Northern Hall.
Yeah, it's.
So the magnet click share thing, Skunk works.
Oh, we missed that.
So you have headphones, right?
Yes,
They're
I
plugged
do.
in normally. They have a magnet just like on your Mac charger.
Yes,
Okay.
And
MagSafe.
I see you, and I slap my magnet onto yours, and boom, we're sharing the same music.
Sounds filthy. So it's
And
like
then
an
somebody
avatar.
else comes
How
in.
does the music move from?
It the
Why do I?
magnet clearly has just like the power
Hold on.
strip thing.
So in order for this to work, everybody in the world has to have these headphones.
If you're gonna share with your buddy, yeah.
Hey,
so
Norm, you want to buy a pair of matching
you can,
headphones?
and then you slap on, and then you have a headset,
Yeah.
right? You slap the magnet on, so you can stack up to 10 magnets or whatever.
Okay.
Share a bunch of friends.
Can you
I
talk
thought,
to each other with the headset?
Yeah, but you're right beside each other. Because
We also listen to music.
But that part of it is kind of cool. Like, you don't need splitters. I would always go on trips.
This is
I
like
want to watch
sporting.
a movie with my wife on the plane. Not that we have kids now, so you're not watching
Right.
anything. You're watching.
You guys split it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Split
no, but
At
this
least
is
you're man
it's
defense
cool.
with the kids
It's cool.
still. Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah,
good.
one on
It's
one.
like wireless charging, but for audio.
Speaking of wireless, did you see the power bag? Those
Yeah,
things
Yeah,
are amazing
yeah,
in my geek world.
yeah.
In actual, they
You think
probably
they're
charge
really-
for 15 minutes.
This is the thing that's like a chemical battery in a sack.
It's a big. Well, you have a whole laptop bag, and
Okay.
all the plugins are sort of in there.
Oh.
And you charge a big, huge thing. You
I've
plug in the bag.
This is the third generation of these that I've seen because they come in and out.
Well, because they
as-
never work, but
No, they work. They like
Passies.
APC made one that works. The problem is the bag weighed about 15 pounds. Yeah. So
Who's it for? It's for like hikers.
No.
For burly men like me,
Yeah, it's for big
they
Canadian.
want to walk around
lumberjacks.
for fucking 4 hours and throw their back out.
So, do you know what? I don't know if this is true. This is maybe apocryphal because it was part of a marketing survey.
Okay.
But I once read that toilets are the #1 killer of smartphones. Because you're on the job with your smartphone,
I
you
totally
stand,
see-
you maybe
yeah.
put it back in your pocket,
Of
or
course.
get it all the way. And
know
How
what
many
it's
toilets are there in
whammy.
America?
Right,
Probably
millions.
500 million.
They're unstoppable killing machines, apparently.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't
I
put your
have
smartphone in your shirt pocket.
Right.
I do clench it tighter when I'm pissing and
good.
looking toward Twitter.
Hold on.
Sometimes
Are you at the
I'm
urinal?
looking. No, at home.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I don't sit to. Do you sit to pee?
No.
That's
I'm
weird.
talking about at the urinal,
That's
dude.
weird. But sitting
I
would
already
be more
made the bath
secure.
thing. I'm
Maybe
not-
that's how we predict. Maybe that's how we predict things. Hi.
What are you even talking about?
Maybe that's how we
know what's going on
reduce iPhone deaths. Is you sit to pee. Drew sits to pee. What? Was that why your hand was up? Oh,
Drew, even say
Drew
hi.
doesn't have a microphone.
Jesus, mother of
Drew,
God.
come
Oh,
on,
you know,
sit down if you
hey,
want.
Drew, you want to tell a story
About
Same
Drew.
story?
about the room?
No.
Okay.
Oh, let's talk about our gambling system that I made.
Okay, all right.
Enormously
Drew
profitable.
and Joey has a gambling. They have a gambling system also, which is like similar to yours.
Mine's better.
Yours is better, I think.
100% profit.
So yesterday I was at the blackjack table with Gary and Gary's friend, and it's
No
it's-
wonder
it's-
you're fucking tired all the
And Mark
time.
Sabat.
I-
he was drinking water.
Yeah, I was drinking water, and I went to bed early.
I know what he drinks when
Three.
he plays blackjack. He drinks Red
Jack.
Bull and
Jack.
Jägermeister, which cancel each other
That-
out.
that- I
but
do-
that is
I
not
had-
water.
I have had many
I've
Anyway.
I've
Red
been at the
Bulls
blackjack table with you
over
before,
ice.
John. I know how this
Anyway.
A
works.
young man's drink, as everyone says. That's what they say, young man's drink.
Yeah, I just drink
Gary
Metamucil
was doing a good
these
job on the
days.
table.
Gary Wood
He was
is
up there
a
until 5 o'clock.
yeah.
I had to leave at 3.
He's serious Vegas.
I didn't even want to be there at 3. It went from 7 p.m. last night to 3 a.m. in a fucking hour.
That's a bad.
That's too
bad.
many.
You don't want to lose that
my
much time.
fourth F-ball.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Sit at the table, have a good time, and then you walk by. You don't play blackjack, right? You
I
have a
don't.
system.
I'm
yeah,
not.
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
You
I'm
have-
a no.
You have a
No, the
system for
discipline
I'm
things.
a
or-
craps guy. I just
Like the
blackjack.
excitement.
Yeah, I'm a hardcore gamer. If I figure out a system that works for me,
That's right.
That's all
so
I
we'll
want to
talk
do.
about the system.
That's all I want to do.
And the
So you're
system was
advancing Vegas.
every time your system worked, you would take one of my chips and come back with double the chips. That's all I cared about. You were my.
I was your agent. I was your
Your
profit
agent,
agent.
yes.
Did you take 10%?
He didn't
No,
take any cut.
Nothing. Not
That's a-
yet.
that's a
That's why I
good
came
friend.
back tonight.
You want a ball peen Henry to work
$10.
on his fingers if he doesn't
$10
cough up the dough.
The system is the greatest system that Vegas has ever seen. If there's
Disclaimer: please do not use this advice and
Yeah,
gamble.
don't gamble. Gambling's really bad.
Yeah.
This is why I don't gamble.
it's really unfortunate that I made $5,000 from the system,
No.
but it doesn't work. There's no math. It's just pure
You're-
nothing.
you're just-
it's shenanigans.
It's just ridiculous
It's smoke
luck.
and mirrors. It's not even luck. It's a curse that is one day I'm gonna keep doing the system.
Right,
then-
and next thing you know, you're going to be a hobo with
Yeah.
a shopping cart
Okay,
and
yeah.
your
Shotgun.
But in my mind, it's
Bit
crystal
more.
clear. In my mind, it is an amazing system.
Okay, explain this.
It's flawless. Okay.
This completely not scientific.
And you can
not
play
actually
20
flawless.
tables at the same time. It's really amazingly easy. And we were doing it.
Great.
So the whole thing is, if there's 5 or more of one color
Is this something
on a roulette table,
Oh no! Oh no!
you bet on the other color.
Hold on. So
And then,
I totally agree. I absolutely believe you.
I'm paying way too much money to the stupid system. It's terrible. Every time I roll people into it, though, they lose their shirts. Because, okay, that's part 1. And part 2 is, if you lose, double your bet and bet again.
Oh my god!
And you chase it.
This is the
And you
worst,
chase it.
the worst
chase
advice I've ever heard. First off, roulette is a loser game. The odds
Every
are
game in
terrible.
Vegas is a loser
Well,
game.
okay, that's fair enough.
Will.
Caribbean.
You see where we are, my
Caribbean Sun Poker is the loser.
friend. Pai Gow is the least
You
loserous
stood there
game.
and you stared at the roulette table, and you said, "Oh man, that's a lot of black in a row."
I need to,
right?
and I would just grab a $25 chip, and I would
Yeah.
come back
Well,
with
let,
50.
let me ask you this: you travel a fair amount.
Yeah.
When you get on an airplane and there's nobody on the fucking airplane, are you nervous?
No.
You know that the vast majority of airplanes that crash are significantly less than full
I don't
capacity.
care. It doesn't. It's not my.
Not in your head. I think what you're playing is the exact same odds as that. You're
Well,
saying that most people are losers. If most people
No.
are on black, you go red.
No. That's not all.
No.
If
No?
there's 5 in a row, it's bound to go the other way.
It's
There's no science.
The law of
It's
large
flipping a-
numbers,
it's flipping
which
a-
is not math.
No, I know
at
it's
all.
not math. It's flipping a coin.
Yeah, well, of
It's saying, oh,
course.
you have 5 heads?
Right.
I bet $100 is tails.
Tails, right.
$200 is tails.
odds are good.
$400 is tails. And I've done that, but when I brought some friends into the group once, and it ended very badly.
This has
And
been
then
a
the
great-
worst part was, so I brought
Was
my
Vinyasa
cousin,
there?
my brother, no, my brother and my cousin,
that's
never been to Vegas
family.
before. I tell them about the system, they're like, that's the worst system ever. We're going to do it with you.
Yeah.
So we started with
great.
$25,
Okay.
and then we lost
Responsible.
to 50,
Oh no.
to 100,
Oh no.
to 200.
This is the point at which.
And
you
then
should
we're
really
all
start
like
considering life
panicking because we
choices.
don't have enough cash to get to 400. And then the pit boss comes over. You know what he says to us? The ball has no memory. And he walks away like fucking Matrix, like poof.
So you
Ninja
keep
smoke.
on the same color this whole time?
Yeah, you have to. It's got to go the other way.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's got to go the other way.
Oh no, you keep switching.
No, you
go
keep
against
staying
the
in it. No,
table.
no,
You
no.
go against
It
the
will
table.
go to the other color.
Oh, this is a terrible plan.
That time, so basically day one, they're like, that's our budget. But for me, it's dumb, but it works.
Well,
It's terrible. It's not a. I do not condone or.
dumb words from a dumb man. You
Yeah,
heard
that
it
is
first.
the most honest truth I've heard all season.
Yes. Should we talk about? We have a couple more things on the list.
Okay.
Okay.
Bear with us as
And
we
it's,
go
and
on
it's
technology.
dumb.
I'll just-
It's mostly dumb.
Yes. No. One cool thing we can talk about.
Oh yeah, a couple of cool things.
Booth babes. They had booth babes. Yeah, sort of.
It's so sad.
It is sad.
Do you have any like
I went to the
really
IGN party.
depressing booth babe stories?
Just no. A lot of them. Some of them with
At
like
the
big
show.
spare tires. Like you're like, I don't. Were you discount? Was it like
Okay.
Craigslist? Like
This
we
is a
couldn't-
question you immediately regret asking, isn't it, Norm?
They were bigger girls. Maybe it was for a bulky product that was like a rugged case. A rugged-
Jesus
maybe they needed a
Christ,
little
man.
more
Now I regret asking this
bigger
question.
bumpers.
Oh my god! Because I was talking about being at like the digital experience
my
event,
God.
and some like really creepy old dude was like putting his arm like on the booth babes, like the
Oh, the
spokesperson's-
small of her back. Oh,
and like
that
and,
makes
like,
me
grabbing
gagging.
and
Oh,
like
oh.
it was really uncomfortable.
But at the end of the day, they get $200, right?
I don't have
That
any
sounds
idea.
terrible. I mean,
Hover hands.
Oh yeah. No,
hover hands.
you got it if you're gonna go. Might as well go
I-
in all in.
I
Might as well
think-
go in.
I think
You're an old creeper. You got nothing to lose except for maybe jail time.
I think Seacrest hover hands Ballmer the other night at the Microsoft keynote. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I probably would. He's a sweaty guy, it looks like. Okay, so talk to we saw headphones that fit in. You know how you put a pair of Apple earbuds in your. This is.
By the way, Apple makes terrible
Yeah,
earbuds.
people accuse us of being Apple fanboys. Apple makes the
Worst
shittiest pack-in earbuds ever.
with the best microphone. Actually, I've found that on the other end, people say, but
guys-
the pack-in earphones are atrocious.
They won't stay in your ear.
Nope.
I mean, I've
This is my ear.
No. I
They,
got
they
big.
never ever stay in my ear.
But what about the
My
the-
ears are
there's
crevasses.
My ear holes must be bigger than yours.
upsell.
Mine are
Spelunking.
look at the size of my
You
head.
know,
I
you
mean,
have
I got like my
pretty
own
big
orbit
melon
up here.
there,
Right?
yeah.
This is a big, massive
And
Canadian
they
head.
sound bad. So it's like a double
Yeah, they're
whammy. They're not
terrible.
comfortable. They sound bad.
That's why the upsell is so much better. Most people can't tell the difference, to be honest.
I see a lot
Most
of white
people
earbuds,
wear the white
stunning
earbuds, and they're perfectly fine with them, and that's why Monster can sell a ton of.
Monster.
we should measure ear
headphones.
hole sizes.
I like that. How do we do? We use like
That's
a.
so
I get some
Use
silly
like-
putty,
yeah.
jam it in there, and then we weigh.
I
the
bet
silly
Drew
putty
has
by
really
volume.
big ear holes. Ear
I love the Apple earbuds
What?
Drew loves the
Drew
Apple
loves them.
earbuds.
How can Drew love the Apple earbuds?
because I can feel like I can
True.
shove them in my pocket
Because they're disposable.
because they're disposable.
Oh.
I have in my pocket the Sony Ericsson. This is always this is what happens every time.
Yeah, that's how they.
Like
die.
I pull
When
this
you
out
yank
and
them
I have
like
a
that, it's
half-hour
over.
task ahead of me.
Yeah.
I don't want to do
Yeah, good luck.
fucking Jenga out of my pockets.
I don't wear earbuds. Use headphones.
Anyway,
You can just keep shaking them, and eventually they'll get really, really knotted, and all be cinched down.
but they're noise. But I mean, they're like when I'm talking on them, these are like they go in your.
Yeah, they jam in there pretty good.
And they have a microphone that is not that good. But.
Yeah, I once had to go to the doctor because one of the cups
Fell off.
in my ear as I was
Oh
pulling
my
out. So I
god!
pulled
The
it out.
worst would be if you went in
Oh
and
shit,
found
they're
two.
just stumped.
That's like a bad lost
And then-
condom story.
And then,
I was just
oh
thinking,
my god.
we read it.
I know.
Come on.
Oh, terrible. I read it.
Okay, so
and then they found a second one.
earbuds falling out is a common problem. Look at me pull this back on track. They had at a booth in Kensha North today.
North.
They had the member of the world trying out for the U.S. Olympic trampoline team,
And they were wearing the
trampolining 24 feet in the air with the earbuds in.
Yes.
Now, this is a dumb concept.
Yeah.
almost as bad as
I
my
thought they were selling
gambling concept.
trampolines.
I wish they were selling trampolines.
I know. It's a
would've gone up and demoed
trampoline.
There was a lot.
trampoline.
By the way, just a little side note. There was a lot of Olympic, like somebody representing their brand was like a gold medal something at a biker with a virtual bike. I mean, they were all.
I
over the
sat
place.
next to an Olympian at the Microsoft keynote.
If it's
the other
good
night,
enough for an Olympian, it's good enough for us, right?
I suppose.
No,
They're
do I look
They
like
have
an
tiny
Olympian?
ear holes.
I'm a world-class beer drinker.
Curling,
about
man,
it.
that's a sport for us.
So,
We should
Curling.
start a Bay Area curling
I threw
team.
my.
do you even remember what was the name of the company?
No.
Yeah, see? It was right behind the trampoline in big letters. I have no idea
Trampoline.
what company it was.
Trampoline.
Trampoline. That's a good name.
Trampoline.
That is
So we saw that. Let's see. We also saw. Well, we saw the Death Segway, which we've already talked about.
Dude, that thing is amazing.
We saw the
Segway.
We saw the Dot.
Yes, that's the good thing. This is actually
The Dot. Hold on. That thing goes 10 miles an hour and has a 22-mile range. Think about riding 22 miles standing on that.
In one
death
way, and
cycle.
then you're screwed. You just get there,
that's
you're like,
for
now what?
10 miles per hour.
Yeah,
Do the
charges
math.
in 30
How long
minutes.
does
There's
it
no
take you?
way. There's no way.
10
That
miles
thing
an hour
works.
and 22 mile.
It's not
2
weight
hours.
rated for
over 2 hours,
lofty men.
2 1/5 hours.
Hefty men. There's no way I would.
No, I couldn't get up the hill in
thing.
Pacifica with that thing on the freeway. It wouldn't go well. We saw the Dot. The Dot is an iPhone accessory. I should have brought it down. They gave us one to take home and test out. But
You get a lot of free stuff because you guys are
no, we try not to because it's a pain in the ass to carry it around.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
And especially since you want to keep the product manuals and stuff, then you know it's bad news. We only take stuff that's really really awesome. This looked pretty awesome. So you've used those panorama apps where you like start the picture and you kind of go
Snore, yeah.
up
Pan,
down,
yeah,
left,
yeah.
right, boring.
It's
Okay.
an app. You pan, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you get a wide picture. Sure.
This is a little lens that doesn't glue, but it mounts
Affixes.
over the
Yes.
iPhone camera sensor, the back one, the good one. And
Laser. Okay.
no, it's not a laser, but
It's a lens.
It's a
Yeah,
fancy
like a
lens.
wide angle.
well, it's a,
It's like a weird shape. Yeah.
yeah, it's a mirror and then a parabolic mirror on the bottom. And it works like, when you sell your house and the realtor comes in with that camera
Yes.
with the pole
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the
And
mirror.
you
on
always
the
know
top.
there's always that
Yeah,
dark spot.
same
in the
thing, but
top.
for video. So you can make 360-degree panoramas video.
I don't want to see what's happening in the back corner while I'm filming.
No. So you'll hold the phone like this.
Okay.
So you hold it
You
flat.
hold it flat.
So that it's
and then
face down.
When you
the screen's face
While
down.
you're
yeah.
watching it, people are using their mouths to look around.
Well, it's not like live streamed or anything like that. But when you play it back, yeah, you can use your mouse to look around. You set keyframes, show the path. Sorry, I misunderstood. And go through the whole thing. And then you can upload that to Facebook or YouTube or whatever. It seems pretty cool.
360-degree
For
video.
what?
Nerds.
Cool for what?
Grognards. People
I
like
just
us.
like
We
the
need
idea.
video.
No, like
It's a
we'll
really-
have a drink at night and we'll play Magic the Gathering and we'll film it and then we'll watch it in 360. Did you see when you picked your nose,
that was
Will?
like Saturday
at
night.
9:30 p.m. No,
Yeah.
dude, that was my whole
9:32.
Christmas break, dude. Trust me. Anyway,
a lot of
it
magic.
sounds. I mean,
We're
again,
Dominion
this
House.
whole thing is
Yeah.
a for us by us thing. Like the very little people sit down and go, "What do consumers need? What do
here's
they
the thing.
need?"
Well, no,
It's just like,
those
what
products-
would I want?
That's Kindle, iPhone, maybe an Android phone.
Kindle Fire is garbage.
I'm not talking about Kindle Fire. I'm talking about Kindle, the good ones.
But this Dot thing,
Yeah.
they're also getting to work with the GoPros. So dudes who put cameras on their helmets when they go snowboarding down double black diamonds can now have 360.
How many megapixels is that?
It's
it's a normal 1080p
it's a normal
video.
1080p video. So
Yeah.
they're just stretching out the
Oh,
video.
I see. Okay.
It's a different aspect.
Yeah.
It's just a weird donut looking shape.
Exactly.
It was pretty neat. We thought that was
So
cool.
you use their app, you use their plugin on the browser, on the Facebook app
Yeah.
to watch the video.
I just like most time whenever you're filming, you're pointing at everyone else in the room is just sitting there looking.
It's not for
unshapely.
recording this. Right?
But what is it for recording? Is my question.
Things and
Basketball
stuff.
games.
360-degree.
Sports, probably.
Yeah.
Action.
Yeah. We
So
should
we're
get
not
football
doing-
players to hold that on the field in the middle of plays. And then
Put it on
you
their
can see what
helmet,
it's like to
all
be a
of them
football player.
on the
Yeah,
helmet,
exactly.
and everyone can
Raise
see
an
everything
iPhone.
all the time.
Let's see. We went to
I would check
Lenovo.
out.
We saw some. I'm a little sneezy here. We saw some pretty good stuff at Lenovo. We saw an all-in-one desktop machine, and it's a touch desktop machine. It was. Would you say that was inspired by the iMac?
Well, touch desktop machines, like HP's had them for a while, right? All-in-ones. And
But
not
they-
many companies make all-in-ones now, but
Yeah.
they still exist. People love them. They try to
A
sell
lot-
them as like
it's a fairly
say,
large
you know,
category.
like families who buy one shared computer or kitchen computer,
Uh-huh.
all those ones are fine. This one had a really big 27-inch touchscreen, 10-point touchscreen,
A 1080p touchscreen, yeah.
but 10 points of
How
touch
is that? How is
also.
the responsiveness?
Just like an iPhone.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Running
Yeah,
their
and
their
on a
Microsoft
huge
demos.
screen.
Wow.
Minority Report, Hello Batman kind of stuff.
Also,
I have a
tilts
story
down,
about. Okay.
Okay.
tilts down and goes flat on the table if you want to use it as
Like a Surface.
Yes.
Okay. So the whole thing.
It's on a pivot, and it'll go all the way flat,
Okay.
and it also has feet, so you can put it like.
So
it'll
the
go
two
to
screens or
any-
keyboard then screen and
Well,
the
there's a
screen.
keyboard
Wireless
mouse attached to it, like
keyboard.
normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have some video that I think probably should be in the day wrap, but pretty neat stuff.
Let me tell you a little side note. So I'm at the Microsoft party last night,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a DJ on a big stage, but it's on the rooftop of wherever we were.
Cosmopolitan or something.
No, MG Bro, whatever it was. And he had a transparent, like a frosted glass it was just frosted glass, about yay big, and a projector behind it, projecting his entire DJ setup, and then he was touch screening, commanding Minority Report the whole entire night of music.
That is crazy.
And you could
bananas.
see it from behind. I'm standing behind it. I took a photo and tweeted it yesterday. And I'm standing behind it, watching everything
And
he's
he's
doing.
doing, like, all sorts of
and
crazy
it's all
multi-touch
see-through. Yeah, he's like,
That is incredibly
okay,
cool.
holding it up, and I have.
Well, it's not going to be real good for the audio. We'll look at it later. But
but I was like, yeah, it was like
Everywhere you
it
go.
was like a transparent surface, Microsoft Surface. But I don't think it was actually a Microsoft product. But the projector, I guess, was detecting where he's pressing, much like those projected keyboards.
like the thing you
where
see
you
in the
type.
Metreon.
Yeah.
With the fish, the koi pond.
Yes, but cooler.
Okay.
Because good music was coming out of it, I
Yeah,
guess.
DJ
And really good
was
food. Microsoft did not.
Yeah. Vegas is full of good banquet food. Lenovo, we saw some other Lenovo stuff. We talked about this a little bit with Gary before, but we'll hit it again.
Yeah, we only saw one ice cream sandwich device.
Yeah, the entire time we were out.
Every
And
time I hear the
Nexus,
name of that device, I just want to eat.
eat an ice cream
I-
sandwich.
we had that problem.
Love
too.
ice
Yeah,
cream
we
sandwich.
had a lot of
Wasn't
ice cream
healthy.
sandwiches for dumb jokes
Yeah.
in the last 3 months.
The Lenovo has a TV that runs ice cream sandwich.
Lenovo, doesn't traditionally make TVs.
They've never made a TV before.
I found out something tonight, hanging out with some friends. You know that Vizio, the old Vizios, run on Yahoo.
Really?
Yeah,
The Vizio TVs?
Yeah.
The widgets? Oh, they're Confabulator.
Yahoo.
Remember Confabulator?
yeah, before it was bought by
Yeah,
Yahoo.
well, Yahoo
Widgets.
Widget Engine is what it's
Yeah.
called now. I actually liked Confabulator back in the day. Back when widgets
Back in the
seemed like
day,
they were going to be
back
a
in the
thing.
day.
Yeah, and not so much anymore.
I just laughed out loud because I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like, do you have a bad email address too when you buy one? I mean,
you use your
Or you get a
Yahoo
free
ID.
Flickr account.
yeah,
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. And the link sharing thing. That was
Flickr
delicious.
is the best Yahoo product that I used to
I
use.
also found out some
yeah.
great intel about how when Vizio came out, they were super low price compared to everything else.
Yes.
And it was, you guys probably know the story. I'm like the
Tell us,
games
tell us.
guy coming thing.
No,
So
let's
it was
lay it
all
out.
collusion. All the old
No.
big TV
They all got
companies,
sued.
they had these massive manufacturing plants that were all made for tube manufacturing, right? So what they did is they purposely kept the price high, so adoption rate was very low, so it would give them time, and they would, because they had such big profit margins, that would pay for their transition of their manufacturers. So Vizio rolls in, right, goes straight to the people that make the stuff, the Foxconn or whatever, and basically buys all the stuff and starts selling it 40% less.
Yep.
Same quality stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's why now Vizio is no longer
And
lower
those
price.
manufacturers got caught
Yeah.
and paid
Yeah.
heavy fines.
Right, and now you can bet a
Millions.
$1,500 TV, that's a $1,000 TV that's a 50-inch TV and looks really nice.
Yeah, now profit margin is
Everybody
sort of in the
wins.
pooper. But
Yeah.
I kind of thought that was probably what happened, but sort of hear it from TV guys is kind of neat.
It's yeah.
Stuff you guys already know. And
Super,
covered.
super.
We covered that 9 months ago, Adam.
No, I don't think we ever talked about it. It's
2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, you just assume that you're getting fucked everywhere you go, right?
Yeah. I was like, why is Vizio? Did Vizio do an awesome deal with Costco? Is that why they're
Well,
cheap or what the?
I mean, in fairness, they made some kind of products that were a little sketch for a while, but
Yeah,
quality.
the bottom line is
cranked up
back
pretty
then,
fast.
back in when I was at Capcom, we outfitted our hiring
2007 probably.
testing. I got there in 07. We bought 40 TVs, all Vizios, all 32 inches,
Yeah.
for like $299,
Yeah.
which back then is like
It's a lot of TVs for $300.
it is. Yeah. See, they were like
$10
$10
each. That's amazing.
Oh,
Fucking giving them away.
anyway,
Lenovo, folding laptop folds.
Yeah,
all
we
the way
talked to
around.
Gary about this. So
Yeah.
it's the first Windows 8 laptop that we've seen. It's called the Yoga, and it folds all the way back. The hinge goes all the way, so it can be on a tablet. So
Yeah.
the keyboard turns off when it's folded all the way back. Trackpad turns off. It's still relatively light.
Yeah.
Runs
Cool.
Windows 8 on a Ivy Bridge
Three
processor.
times.
Yeah.
haven't we? Isn't that
It was
big-
a thing for a
eight
while.
8 years ago?
Well, it's the
This one's a
swivel.
little better.
The swivel,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
But this isn't a swivel. It's folded all the way back.
Yeah, it's
Um,
totally different.
I
You're
mean,
right.
obviously, the way a lot of people
It's
are
Windows
going to
8.
use them.
The difference
Okay,
is that
yeah,
there's a touch
that's-
UI now
that's
that's
right.
actually
That's-
worth using.
So it makes it sense.
Or potentially there's a touch UI
I just
that's actually worth using.
the all-in-one stuff. I want whatever's I'm using. I want to be the best at that. You know. So if I want a tablet, I want the best tablet. That's a tablet. It's kind of like when I
You really
game.
don't want to buy Windows 8 then.
Well, no, I mean I think their goals are fantastic, and from what I haven't seen on the floor because I was in Gage Hall North. But you guys, I mean, it seems to be pretty awesome. It's getting good reviews.
I'm well. It's too early to say. Anybody who's saying it's good is doing it on a pre-beta build
Right.
from that build release.
And also
which was
not
6 months ago
qualifying
now
what they mean by
almost.
good. They mean that looks
cool.
The tablet interface is smoother than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, what they mean
Yeah,
is
which
it's
is like
promising.
Right?
Yeah, which means I thought it was gonna be a turd.
Yeah,
Right. It's like,
But
hey,
it's like a C+.
The reaction is it's interesting, which means it's not shit.
Right.
To
It means you're hedging your bet.
promise,
Like
yeah.
that's most of the tech
just
press
fucking
industry.
say you're
Like,
hedging your bet.
it's fine. You know, it's looking good. We'll see.
No, I mean, bold
Yeah.
declaration. I think I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate it.
You're gonna hate it.
Yeah, change is bad.
So and again, go back. So when I'm on my tablet, on my iPad,
In the toilet.
yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
But mostly not. I like productivity. I just don't want to hammer out emails. I'll do it
Yeah.
on a plane because I'm forced to.
Yeah.
But my laptop, my mindset switches. It's like when I'm on my iPhone playing a game versus 3DS versus my
Portrait or
Xbox.
landscape most of the time.
I'm mostly portrait.
Yeah.
I can get my typing's really fast on portrait.
Yeah.
iPad 1 not so much because the performance isn't as fast. iPad 2 is way better. TH, if you type too fast, TH is just and it cancels each other out.
You end up with a lot of T's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other
does,
thing at
just
Lenovo,
E.
we started on this a minute ago. Smart TV. So pretty much the only ice cream sandwich thing we saw that was new. Galaxy Nexus was there. Huh?
I was looking at Joey's monitor and I saw it.
Oh,
Your
so
thumbnail.
Looking at pictures of us.
Yeah.
Is there a dumb picture of me on
What's
there?
happening in the
Yeah.
chat? What's
We haven't
cracking?
talked to those guys in a long time.
What's
Thanks,
cracking? I
guys.
miss.
Chat's just having fun. They haven't been
Making
asking
fun
any
of Chubbo.
questions lately.
Oh man, that's good. I'm glad they're having fun.
Why don't
I'll-
Why don't they ask us some questions? We'll check.
I'll
back
put
in
the
in
field
just a
out for
minute.
some questions.
Okay.
Okay, chat people.
I really want to talk about the Smart TV. It was really cool. I know it's
the
really
Lenovo one.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of really shitty app TVs.
Right.
And the
And-
problem is the performance is always bad. Like the controls are shitty. It's just not a good experience.
It's TV. It's hardware manufacturers trying to make good intuitive
Software.
Software.
Yeah,
It's
they should.
terrible.
And so the
Just like
software's
why
out there.
car companies, the UI in cars are atrocious.
Well, so Lenovo is one of the few companies that's made PCs over the years that their third-party additions to the OS haven't been complete shit.
Right.
HP was pretty good for a while and kind of went on a slide recently, but Lenovo, what is it they call it? ThinkVantage or something. All of that stuff actually makes the laptop better, right? It makes the battery last longer. It gives you a thing that. You know how when you're on the plane and your MacBook battery starts to conk out and you're like, shit, I got to turn
After
the brightness
45
all the way down, and you turn the keyboard backlight all the way down. You like, maybe I should turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And they have it just does it. There's a fucking button that you press and it's
Shields
like,
down.
make this last as long as possible. And then you're like, shit, I can't. Okay, let me shut the window. Maybe that'll make the nope, open up again.
It's like Star Trek
Overhead
Online,
light,
just the
you know.
power meters.
Right, exactly. So
My Asus
it's-
has that.
It's like X-wing, right? It's like
Yeah.
X-wing where you're
Launch all Vipers. Boom.
right. No. Shields all the way up, engines down,
aft
lasers
shields.
down. Yeah, exactly. So like that kind of stuff they've been good at. They condition the battery for you so that it lasts more than 1,000 cycles. Like it'll do when you reach a point where it says, "Oh, hey, you haven't done a
having a
complete
hard
rundown
time.
on your battery lately." You should probably do that. It's a good idea. And then it'll do it for you, and it'll do it like 6 times, so it's extra better
Wow.
when you get back.
That's
I don't know if
kinda-
any of that shit does anything, but it makes you feel good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're looking out for me, Lenovo.
Hey, thanks for protecting
Looking-
my investment in your product.
Yeah.
So their TV.
So their TV, the performance was actually good, and the remote was in Chinese. Norm,
I didn't read it.
you
I
don't read,
I don't read.
right?
Period. But I was able
comic
to.
books mostly.
Another side note: why is it that every Chinese company that has a booth has the white with holes in it back wall and the same font with the same stock
I guess they all want the same dude to build their booth.
Shenzhen?
Yeah, probably.
It's amazing.
Probably the-
Look again tomorrow. Same font. It's all exact same font,
Is
same
it a
background. Maybe
serif
it's a
font?
government thing.
It's a serif font.
No,
sorry.
They might be sponsored by the government. They probably
A
got
lot of things know it's a
funds.
Minotype probably because Capcom, like all Japanese companies, use the same font for all documents because it has to be be able to switch. They be able to have kanji.
Oh, on Japanese windows and
so I'm guessing the same thing with Chinese. But anyway,
that
just a
makes
weird
sense.
aside. Let's go back to your guys' cool stuff. Not crappy.
Performance was good. Norm was able to figure out how to use the remote without being able to read the labels on the
Yes.
remote, which is always a good sign.
So you can't,
It doesn't read Chinese.
No, I don't.
No. English though, occasionally. Only when forced to.
So it's not a Google TV replacement.
It's not a Google TV.
Because it's not for DVR. It's not for.
what is in that?
It's. Will's drinking coffee.
It's
You'll
water
never
right now,
know.
actually.
You'll never
Water
know.
right now.
Cool water from Joe's sheet.
Water.
We asked
And-
questions, then we didn't go back.
We'll get
We'll
it.
get
We
to
gotta
the
get.
question.
This is important. The
Yeah,
smart
so
TV thing's important.
Lenovo's first TV, the panel is made by LG. Of course, it's a passive 3D TV. has a Qualcomm 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor inside it,
Okay.
And that's probably what's helping it run.
It's
real
like
well.
it's a real machine though.
Horsepower.
Yes,
Yeah.
I wouldn't play games on it. I mean, they have like Wii-type games and Android racing games
Well,
and stuff
Stop
like that.
making games, anyone that
Yeah.
is in the game company, please.
The other interesting thing, well, it was like Asphalt 6, so it's a lot of like Android games that have been ported over. The interesting thing about this is it also gave us a glimpse into what it's like to buy TVs in China. Because
Yes.
piracy is so rampant.
Yes.
All like the downloadable movie services are free and ad driven. So you could
Yeah.
download like Underworld 3 or it was Resident Evil 4D, 3D, the 3D
You
one.
got the Duracell bunny in the corner during the movie? Or what?
I don't know how it
I have
works.
no
I
idea.
know that like in China, when movies come out in theaters, it's already on their official like YouTube, like whatever their counterpart
Yeah,
is,
it's the
and
future.
you can watch
Good
the
for
movie
them,
at home
though,
for
to,
free.
Yeah.
to embrace
Yeah.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
and figure out monetization.
Better than the way we've
Would
done
never
it, which is
happen
to
here.
Start
Yeah.
suing people
Yeah.
for years and years.
Yeah.
Take down notice.
So yeah, I thought
Or
that was really
SOPA.
cool.
Just do that.
I thought that was pretty cool. We'll have a video of that up on the site too. That's pretty much it. Oh, you saw the Fuji XD1, but I mean,
X
it's
Pro
another
one.
mirrorless camera.
Yeah,
camera.
Google Posts.
There's posts and
It's
there's
very
video
expensive.
coming.
It's very very nice.
It's essentially a Leica. You said.
Leica, yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And 1,000 iPad and iPhone case.
We don't even look at
Designers.
that shit.
No, but it's strange. Like, how is this sustainable?
It's the
What
goal.
was the,
It's
stupid,
now
most,
not.
the worst iPad case you saw? I can name.
Oh, it was pure gems. It was just gems.
It's
Like
like
Velocity
pure
one?
diamond.
Yeah.
Pure diamond.
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
With the super tall
Sparkling.
In a
wood
billion
models,
years,
right?
why would anyone, except
$14-year-old
for three
girls.
people, anyway.
I saw that the iPad beanbag case is a small little beanbag built into the case.
That was pretty dumb.
That you put your iPad in, so that the iPad can rest on a beanbag on your table.
Yeah.
There was
Or
a
in your
lot
lap.
of sticky, like one-handed, like we're that lazy. Like I thought the unisegue was bad enough as far as laziness.
What do you do one-handed?
Wait, so is this?
And then
like
the best part
wait,
is
wait, I
this guy,
imagine-
this 400-pound guy is standing beside me. I'm no spring chicken, and he turns to me and goes, oh, "This country's so lazy." I'm like, "No doubt." Look at him. Then we have
No
that
doubt,
moment,
eh?
the Chubbo moment. I'm like, "Oh Jesus, what just happened?"
It's like
here?
a Wall-E moment.
Yeah.
There.
Can I have one? Can I have two to go for the road?
Well, I just think somebody should make the wank assist. Like that's what these products are. The one-handed iPad holders. That's what it's for, right? Why do you need a one-handed iPad holder?
Johnny used to just rest it. He would make a stomach so he could rest it and just hands free
That's some shit I don't
while
need to
laying
see.
down.
I really never.
You taught me the technique.
Wesley,
teach me.
no,
You
no,
just told
don't.
me about it.
We'll get an instructional video from next time he's in the office. Wesley Fenlon, what's the chat saying? What do they want to know about before we wrap up this incredibly long day 2 podcast?
Very happy to have Adam on the show.
Bullshit.
First thing they want to know: do you want another beer?
I'm good. I have an 8 o'clock conference
Thank
call.
you, chat,
yeah.
for offering
For looking
our
out.
Yeah.
beer. To
I'm the
Adam.
only asshole
We don't-
that
we
shows
didn't
up
buy
and has
lot
a
of it,
beer on the
right?
show.
But thank you
Everyone's
for
like being
offering.
very professional. Yeah, thanks for offering.
They're also curious what you think of the Vita.
The Vita. I think so. Gary said something that I inherently disagree with on Monday.
Gary has not seen the Vita. Keep in mind.
I put my hands. I was at. Yeah. Anyway, I
You put
think
your
it's-
hands on it?
I did.
Okay.
Put my hands all over it.
Okay.
I want to
5
play
inches.
Uncharted. I want to play Uncharted on that. I want to on the road.
See, I don't ever
wanna
want to play Uncharted. So
No,
it's
see here-
not really
What's
a
wrong
compelling
with
to
you?
me.
Are you kidding?
Will has never played Uncharted 3.
No, I haven't played. I played Uncharted 1 and I played Uncharted 2, and I've had all the Uncharted I need.
But I mean, I want to play games like that on the go.
I play
really do.
Skyrim on the go.
I can't play a mobile game for more than 10 minutes. Even if it's a game that I love, like Carcassonne, Risk, stuff like that, I'll play
Yeah.
over and over and over. But I want to hunker down. I've always said this. There's no reason why Microsoft can't put an Xbox this big and give me a portable Xbox.
Well, one of the things I love doing
And
is
that's
playing,
that's what PlayStation's done. Sony's done that. They've made a portable PlayStation.
like the cripplingly. I
the
love
price
playing-
point,
Well, battery life, price
I
point.
think price point's
accessory.
fine. I think
no, the
the
price point's
accessories
fine.
is the
I
problem.
mean the price point of the games. Now that we have this value proposition
that's true.
shift, that becomes more difficult. Like me, $50.
$50 it feels like a lot.
It's a lot of money nowadays.
But I mean, you don't.
I would
don't
rather
flinch
get the way
for
I
Uncharted
game
3
now.
on PS3.
I would rather them chunk it up. I know we said episodic is a way to go. I would really rather pay $10, and then if I get to that at end of chapter 4, I pay 10 more because
Okay.
I probably will pay 50 and play it for 4 hours, maybe.
Yeah, you probably pay 70 and pay it for 6 hours.
Right, and so
just
I'd
keep
rather
going.
just feed it to me as I want it. But the problem is it's just not sustainable. It's not where the profit margin.
Most people aren't going to get that far into the game.
I just hope they suss out, they get all the bugs fixed, because the stuff that I played that was more sort of Japanese content still at one point, this is analog for this screen, but then I go to the next menu and it's touch. So there's a lot of ambiguity on how I control each screen.
Like the game that we were sitting in front of for the demo yesterday or day before, whenever it was. It seems like about a year and a half ago. Was MLB The Show 12? I guess 13 maybe. It must be 12 because it's this year's game, right? I don't know.
They
Doesn't
usually
matter.
name it the year after.
Yeah.
But this year's 12. 12 to start.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. But anyway, it was the launch baseball game, the MLB The Show game. Tapping the button to pitch. I play a fair amount of video games, and there was nothing I could do to get the circle small, tapping it exactly the right time. So either throwing the buttons is weird, or it could have been because it's floor model, but this was right at the beginning of the show.
Right.
It just felt weird. It felt a little bit laggy and weird, and we were pre-release software, of course. So I mean,
yeah, I mean, that's the thing is the stuff that I saw. Like I was blown away by the screen. I mean, it's bigger than I thought, but it's gorgeous. Like I just bought a PlayStation TV.
Yeah.
Which I was blown away by. The 3D.
You bought the 23-inch?
Yeah, the 24-inch is $399.
The price
comes
is good.
with Motor
They
Storm.
reduced the price, yeah.
Comes with the glasses. And I was always been a bet hedger with 3D. I'm like, it's just a shtick. Yeah. And then I played like 3 hours of Motor Storm and was like, mother of God, I've never seen anything like this. Wow. And it was so great. Okay. And then I played Resistance and Killzone. I was like, why haven't I been doing it? It was just a different. Okay. It's phenomenal. Like I used to be a guy that's like, 3D. But I think for that price point, especially with the thing that they have where two people can wear the glasses,
we tried that.
Different
Did
it work?
There's a fair amount of ghosting when there's not movement.
Okay.
But it worked. I mean, it was neat. It was definitely novel, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Samsung has an OLED that has a much faster pixel response time and much faster frame switch on the floor. You can do the exact same thing.
And it's 55 inches.
Yeah, it's 55 inches instead of 24. So
right.
It's also probably $30,000. So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
a little. It's
110 inches, but it costs $1 million. So I'm excited for the Vita.
Questions from the chat?
Yeah, this one's more for Will. Any coffee tech / distantly coffee related tech on the show floor? This comes from
haven't seen anything coffee
the Wonder
tech.
Waffle.
I haven't seen any coffee tech related stuff.
No.
Did you see?
Great cup of coffee made by Joey.
Yeah, Joey made a fantastic cup of coffee for me last night. I remember.
Coffee underwater, just like let's talk on the phone.
That's
what they need for the next one.
Yeah. Couple more questions, then we're going to wrap it up. Day 2 is. We're 15 minutes, I think, from day 2 being over. I want to post a podcast and go to bed, I'll be honest.
Lupa asks, what's Adam's favorite thing he's seen on the floor?
That's an unfair question. Same reason why my Giant Bomb top 10 list didn't get published. I only did a top 5 list because I didn't play a lot of the games this year.
Was it just?
And then Ryan was just like, then we're not. Then fuck you.
RoboCop Avatar items.
Yeah, it's everything I've ever done. Scream, mobile. No.
So you said you've been kind of stuck in one corner.
Yeah, it was the North Hall. I definitely think like I'm a gadget geek in stuff that I want, and the power bag. Not that I run out of batteries. Like I don't get low batteries a lot. Yeah. But I'm panicky about charging everything before I go somewhere.
Dude,
like I freak out. I have to have everything like overpowered and overcharged. So the battery, even though it's ridiculously overweighted and all that stuff, but the power bag, I was like. Kind of like when I first saw the power mat, I'm like, I don't have to. I just drop it.
And then you realize you have to plug in the accessories, and it's really bad.
And then it's big bulky. But power bag was just a neat gimmick. And then, like I said, the skunk thing with the just geeky stuff. That
do you want me to blow your mind?
I do. I would love to see the world through your guys' eyes. I wish I saw more.
The outside Nathan's Hot Dogs, there's that standing bar. You can stand and eat your hot dog if you purchased it in the central concourse between North and Central. They have power plugs every like 4 or 5 feet, which is great, awesome. Those power plugs have USB ports on them now.
2 of them. Yep.
2 USB ports. It is the fucking future. You can just plug your USB shit straight into the wall.
Unless it's an iPad, and then it's like not enough power to charge this.
Oh well, this is.
I get that crush. Like I'm on a flight, and I'm like, you got USB, and then I put it in. It's like on Virgin, and Virgin also has the playable games from 1982.
Doom.
Doom's
gone.
Doom's
gone.
Yeah, they just have these Clax brick blocker. Anyway,
Wes, one more. I don't know where Drew went off to, but one more.
I like the questions from the crew.
One more coffee question from Fistful of Bacon. Does Will consider mycotoxins when picking coffee?
No.
That's a lame last question.
Ask another question.
That's like send a tweet to Will.
Yeah. If you can answer this with a yes or no,
Wes.
Probably not a good question.
Wes.
If it was a yes, you would have elaborated.
That's true. Okay, so you get a 50-50
The monkey poo coffee beans. They're the best.
cat-
We
like
ate
animal.
that. They're not the best.
Yeah.
And
Quantum-
actually, they're
Quantum-
really cool with
Yeah.
animals. Yeah, somebody sent it. Steve Lynn sent them in, I think. No, it was October Media, I think.
God, they send cool stuff.
they're-
I wish people just sent me cool stuff.
So there's two
Send you
things.
shit in the mail.
No, I know.
The civet poop coffee, the Kuala Copa Lumpy.
Yeah.
It's mean to the civets, and there's a lot of counterfeit shit coffee. So people
Counterfeit
feed
shit?
they feed it to raccoons or something.
Shark
and they get-
fins too. I
that's
mean,
the
it's
worst.
just a matter of
Right.
Well, I can
stuff
taste the
that doesn't
difference.
make any.
I can taste the difference, and I
Oh
still
my
Real
God.
shark fin soup and fake
no.
shark
Dude,
fin
after
soup.
27 years of drinking it.
Wesley
fuck yeah, I can taste
Fenlon.
the difference.
One more.
Give us the juice.
Okay, Devil Doll asks, have you guys seen any crazy PC parts like third-party versions of graphics cards
man, this is
with massive coolers sticking out of them?
Okay, we're gonna take one more after this because we haven't been in the hall where all the PC stuff is yet. That's tomorrow. So
Yes.
one more.
Uh,
Un Moss.
Slim Pickens here.
Ooh, oh, now you're throwing down with the chat.
Well, we've got a lot of questions that are just.
How many
uh,
viewers?
Oh, I thought you had a question from Slim Pickens
How many
from
viewers?
Beyond the
No.
Grave.
How many viewers are
Unfortunately
stopping
not.
us? 80? 85?
We got a few hundred.
There we go.
Will
Thank you for
4K
watching, gentlemen.
Yeah,
EJ
thank
the
you.
Bad asks, will 4K TVs have any impact on the next generation of consoles or PCs?
No.
No. You can't
Hey,
find-
Mark
yeah,
actually
no.
had some good insight. I
Yeah,
think. It's all about, it's going to be pushing more stuff on the screen, not necessarily a higher resolution.
I think more steady frame rate. I think more steady frame rate is.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate
60,
that.
yeah, 60 frame. I mean, when I was at Midway, Ed Boone, Mark Trammell, Sal DeVita, they were like, no game ships less than 60.
Yeah.
And Ed had this amazing knack. One time the guys knocked one of the games, knocked MK down to 57, and he could tell.
Some people are real sensitive to that. Greg Biederman,
Ed
who
Boone
used
is
to be
incredible.
the-
At NVIDIA, right? He's
Well,
at
no, he's editor-in-chief PC gamer and was at HP for a while,
Now
and
he's
then
at
with
NVIDIA.
Ubisoft.
Yeah,
and-
that's what
oh
it
yeah,
is.
now he is at NVIDIA. You're right. I'm sorry. He is incredibly frame rate sensitive. Like he could, I'll pick it up when it sags 20-30%. Dude could sit down and he'd be like, yeah, this is less than 60 frames a second.
I want
On a
60
PC.
FPS always. I mean,
Damn.
it's-
Like 40, 55 is fine for me.
Yeah, Norm cranks the tail all the way up. That'll do it for us tonight. As always, Joey, Drew, Thomas over on the video side are
Unsung heroes.
fucking killing it
Let's
this week.
sing for the unsung heroes.
Post something nice for them in the forums because all of the video up on
Send
the
them
site,
nice stuff.
they wouldn't happen if it weren't for them. Norm and I, there'd be like, it would be just like a
We're
picture-
standing around doing this with
yeah,
no camera.
Nobody would be here. It would just be
Yeah.
us in
But
the
you
room.
could use a 360 camera to film the whole empty room.
That's exactly right.
Or the swivel thing. With the
Thanks to
traction
Gary
movement.
Witta. I'm sorry you had to go, Gary. I hope you enjoyed your
IGN
high
party,
water night.
tough life. Went to the
And-
IGN party, have to run.
And say hi to Seacrest. Is that where he went? He went to the IGN party?
No, I don't think Secrets is there.
Oh, no, I meant Gary.
No, Gary's downstairs.
Okay. Mr. Boyce, thanks. It's always a pleasure to see you, sir. I'm
Thanks
sorry,
for
sorry
having-
Braga fucked you last year. He's gone now.
Braga,
but,
you son of a bitch.
we're,
I wish I saw more. I wish I had more to talk about. I'm useless.
well, yeah, always insightful, always good. Wes, thanks for manning the chat in the last half. Thanks to Matt.
Killing it.
Yeah, it's been a good show. We got one more day of CES, then the long drive home.
Oh,
Are
the
you gonna
big
stream that
finale.
drive?
No.
You sure?
Oh,
Come on, it'll be fun.
depends if Gary pulls the all-nighter.
I think Gary threatened to listen to Power for 24 hours. The entire drive back, looped. I don't think any man can do that. No one man. We'll be back tomorrow with more CES. Lots of video coming up. Another day wrap up. All the crazy stuff we talked about that we saw today. There's a ton of video coming. There's a lot of CES left to come. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, I'm Will.
I'm Norm.
Bye.
Adam, bye.